expectations are sky high for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles. Tonight, though, they take on a different breed of cat. The Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley come calling for what should be a tremendous way to get the 2026 high school football season underway and our coverage on Toyota's Friday Night Rivals. We are so excited to be with you tonight. Buckeye Hall of Famer Jeff Logan. I'm Marty Bannister. We'll hear from Dave Holmes coming up. When you look at a way to start a season, not a better way than to have two of Central Ohio's premier programs teeing it up.
You know, they are very proud programs, and they've been working their tail off for this night. This is important for both of them, obviously, and the biggest challenge for all the teams in Central Ohio. They've had very little time to practice outdoors because of all the rain.
Meteorologist Jeff Logan knows that so very well. The rain has been a real factor for all these teams. Let's break them down, and let's start with Hilliard Bradley. Mike Leparo's team, injury-riddled last season. They still got to the playoffs and made a nice run into the second round, but this year the Jaguars are healthy, and for a return, it's going to be the defense leading the way, and a pretty good one leads the way in Micah Fisher.
Well, and he's just a junior, and that says something about this roster because they have very few seniors on this team. They were led by these kids as freshmen a couple years ago. Micah Fisher will stand out tonight in this football game.
When you talk about loaded teams in Central Ohio, Kurt Krager and Big Walnut, well, they fit that definition right now. Numerous Division I caliber athletes will be on the field for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, who've come close to the state championship game each of the last 2 years, coming up short in the semifinals. This year they want to get through that door, and a big reason why is Nolan Burley.
Yeah, they lost their opener just a year ago, and they don't want to get started the same way, and Nolan Burley is the guy that's going to lead this team on offense and defense. And I talked to the coach. How do you take a kid off the offensive side because you want to give him a breath and play more defense when he had 30 touchdowns a year ago? He says we'll do it very rarely.
It's a great way to get it started. It's Hilliard Bradley. It's Big Walnut. It's Toyota Friday Night Rivals. The kickoff. It's coming up next.
Starting lineup for the Hilliard Bradley Jaguars. Number 1, Rashad Press. Number 2, Angelo Gray. Number 3, Braylon Gordon. Ray Hawley is number 6. Glenn O'Neill, number 7. Miles Mason, number 8. Walter Graham, number 50. Javon Ford, number 59. Trace Hawkins, number 65. A.J. Glory, number 66, and number 70, Garrett Clark. Your starting lineup for the Big Walnut defense. Number 60 in, O'Grady. Nose, number 65, Brady Snyder. In, number 99, T.J. Meyer. Left linebacker, number 3, Nolan Burley. Inside backer, number 8, Cole Swanger. Middle linebacker, number 11, Gage Eckelbarger. Safety, number 12, Cole Heisel. Corner, number 2, Brady Simon. Free safety, number 25, Jackson Dews. Strong safety, number 24, Drew Harris. Free safety, number 9, Tanner Harkness.
Meeting at the midfield stripe. Tonight's coin toss sponsored by Unleaded 88. Grab the blue handle and save today. Learn more at savewith88.com. Big Walnut has won the toss in tonight's game. The Golden Eagles have elected to defer. The Jaguars of Bradley will get the football first. Well, lots been talked about with the talent on this Big Walnut team, but as we say good evening to Dave Holmes, there's a lot of talk about a guy who isn't on this Big Walnut team.
Yeah, Jameer Brown is not going to be on this football field tonight. Jameer Brown is the top-rated high school football player in the state of Ohio, a 5-star wide receiver and future Ohio State Buckeye. He was supposed to be a big part of Big Walnut's plans here in 2026. He transferred from Huber Heights Wayne. He actually won 3 state championships in track and field for Big Walnut back in the spring, then ran into eligibility issues with the OHSAA. He went back to Huber Heights Wayne, and the crazy part is just this week, the OHSAA has suspended him 2 games for undisclosed rules violation, so he's not playing anywhere on opening night. Head coach Kurt Krager would love to have him, but he's also been adamant with his team. That chapter is closed. Let's worry about the guys who can help us win games in 2026.
Dave, thank you. We look forward to hearing from you as the evening goes along. And Jeff Logan, that's the way you have to approach this when you come into a game like this or a season like this. You can't worry about what's not here.
No, I'm sure there was a lot of excitement around your kid that's the number 1 player in the state of Ohio being part of your football team. But just like injuries, things you can't predict, you got to have a plan B out there. And without Jameer Brown, this is still a really good football team.
Owen Piles approaches the football. We get ready to get this one started tonight here at Big Walnut. The weather has cooperated. Sunshine, it's a little humid, but it will head towards being a very comfortable Friday night for high school football. The right footer swings his leg, and we're playing high school football in 2026 here in the state of Ohio. This is Trey Paulus fielding the opening kick, trying to get to the outside 25-yard line, and it's run out of bounds far side for Hilliard Bradley, and Michael Paro's offense will come onto the field for the first time in 2026, led by a pretty good guy at the controls, 6 foot 180-pound senior Declan O'Neal, who missed time last year with an injury, but is a guy who's going to Wittenberg. He came off a good season with 8 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. He's the key to their offense.
Yeah, he really is, and he's gotten bigger and stronger from a year ago. They want to be as balanced as they can. You look at his numbers from last year, running and passing. Just got to keep the ball and not turn it over.
Paulus ran the kick back out to the 25, and our first down play of the night is a handoff to Rashad Truss, the 5'10", 175-pound junior tailback coming off a year where he just missed 1,000 yards, 946 to be exact, with 5 touchdowns. Michael Paul really likes the way that young man developed in the offseason, and strength and weight, big parts of the improvement for Trey Paulus. There's that offensive line for Hilliard Bradley. Graham Walter, the center, is a 3-year starter, a 6 foot, 270-pound junior. Garrett Clark at the right tackle spot is a good guy to run behind. And watch the freshman, A.J. Broering. He's a guy who Michael Paro, the head coach, says by the time he's done could be one of the best to come through our Hilliard Bradley program. A lot of people keeping an eye on that big freshman, 6'5", 280-pound A.J. Broering at left tackle. Second down, that play lost a couple. This is O'Neal trying to get out of the backfield and is grabbed by another guy who figures to be an impact all night long and all season long. That's that junior defensive end, T.J. Minor, the 6'3", 305-pound junior who only has 11 Division I offers right now, as the junior with a big play right there, another loss. And there is that Eagles defense. Nolan Burley will see a lot of time on defense at that linebacker spot. They lost 3 guys from that team last year that had 70 or more tackles, but they have replaced them with some pretty good talent. Big Walnut's defense expected to be a big part of this Eagles team this season. So a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. That play lost back to the 19. And O'Neal will roll, pressure on, sends it ahead, and overthrows his intended receiver far side, trying to get the ball into the hands of Trey Paulus. And for the first time tonight, the Bradley Jaguars will be forced to kick the football.
Yeah, we talk about the fact that this is opening night, and everybody's going to be a little bit nervous out there. And the fact that they have not really had all of the practice time to get all the timing down that they want, that's a pretty good example there as Declan O'Neal rolled out and just let that ball fly high. That's a hard thing to kind of replicate in the gym when it's pouring down rain outside.
Xavier Love, who does the kicking for Bradley on the punt football play, last year averaged 28 yards a kick with a long of 47. Very high, spiraling kick, and a good kick. A fair catch will be signaled for. Backpedaling and fielding the catch at the 40-yard line for Big Walnut. They'll get their offense on the field. Brady Simon back returning punts. So we get our first look at this high-powered offense of Big Walnut, led by a Michigan State recruit at quarterback, the 6'4", 196-pound senior, Eli Stump. And look at those numbers right there. The touchdown to interception ratio, Jeff, that's the one thing that really jumps out at you.
That's very special. And, when you've got a good running game, it really does help the passing game as well. And so a lot of play action in this offense. Let's pay attention to what they do with this in terms of balance.
Nolan Burley wears number 3. And he'll come set in the backfield right now as they bunch the formation. Big Walnut wearing those home red jerseys, moving from left to right as you watch this one. First call to Burley, leaps across the 45-yard line, and his gang tackle just shy of the midfield stripe. Just missed the first down by about a yard, and Big Walnut will have a 2nd and short coming up. The Big Walnut offense, we've talked a lot about Nolan Burley tonight. Eli Stump has improved each year. His cousin Fenn Stump will be one of his prime targets tonight. And Gavin Harrington's a guy that Kurt Krager very high on at one of those wideout spots. A returning starter caught 17 balls last year. Second and short. They'll move Jackson Bowers into a slot, and the handoff is to Burley. Has a little running room into Bradley territory, spins across the 45 down to the 43-yard line, and a Big Walnut first down.
A really good push by that right side of that offensive line.
Jeff, we talked about this Bradley defense. We focused on Micah Fisher a lot, but let's keep an eye across that front line as well, too. Gage Woods, one of the defensive ends. He's going to be a key to slow this run game down.
Absolutely. What good work back there in the backfield by Nolan Burley. Just slowing things down a little bit, waiting for the blocks to kind of set themselves up in front of him.
First down sponsored by Door Depot a moment ago on the completion. This is Eli Stump to Fence Stump, and the first cousin-to-cousin completion of the night. Carries to the Bradley 31-yard line, and it's another first down for Big Walnut. 3 minutes into this one. Eli Stump last year, 134 of 205, 2,150 yards. And one of the things that Kirk Krager talked a lot about, Jeff, when we visited with him earlier this week. He said the one thing that Eli Stump does is he commands the huddle. What does that mean to a quarterback?
Well, I think it's respect, and you can't do it just verbally. You've got to do it with your play. You've got to do it in the weight room, and I just think there's a lot of respect for this senior.
First down, and Burley to the left side 30, 25-yard line, bouncing off defenders, gets to the Hilliard Bradley 20-yard line, inside the 20 to the 19, picks up the Baker's dozen, and it's another first down. Brought to you by Door Depot for the Big Walnut offense.
I mentioned a year ago, 2,200 yards rushing for this young man in their 12-2 season. Obviously, getting 14 games certainly helps you a little bit, but, you know, I think the key to this, and you look at his numbers, is that this kid has great hips, all right? His coach talked about that a little bit. And what I mean by that, he's very shifty when he gets into the open field. He's not going to necessarily always try and run you over, but he will never allow anybody to get a direct hit on him.
Big Walnut has moved to the Bradley 19-yard line, their initial possession. Braden Neverman's into the game at the running back spot. They throw to the end zone and overthrow an open Brody Schuster, who had gotten behind the defense, but Eli Stump led him a bit too much. Incompletion will bring up a second down and 10.
What a great target. Brody Schuster appeared to be there right out of the tight end position, uncovered, right up the slot. And you could see Eli Stump's eyes just getting bigger and bigger. You wouldn't expect that necessarily out of an experienced senior quarterback to overthrow an open receiver like that. But again, week one jitters a little bit.
Second down and 10.
Very slow getting the ball out, play call out.
Both these schools are members of the Ohio Capital Conference. They are in different divisions. Big Walnut's in the Capital, and Bradley resides in the Central Division. Here's Neverman with the first touch of the night. He is dropped for a loss in the backfield. Great penetration that time by the Bradley defense. There was the player we talked about a moment ago, Micah Fisher, our star to watch, and a big play right there by Fisher.
Yeah, Micah Fisher's coming from the backside, all right? He steps up on that line. Watch the bottom of your screen. He's going to flash right there. See Zero coming up to make the play from behind. Also a good set by Gage Woods there to make sure he doesn't get the corner. But how about the pursuit that time for Micah Fisher?
Ball has been moved to the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. Eli Stump on the roll to the near side with the football. Still on the go to the 15 now. Tries to sidestep a defender, but Micah Fisher comes over and plants into the field turf just inside the 15-yard line. That was one of Mike Leparo's big worries about defending Eli Stump, Jeff Logan, making sure he doesn't pull it down and run.
Yeah, he can make things happen with his legs when he decides to run with the football. And at that time, what a great tackling job Micah Fisher does. And not that Stump's going to make a bunch of people miss in the open field, but really a good job by Micah Fisher bringing up a fourth down. That looks like a field goal try.
Owen Piles will do the place kicking for Big Walnut. Last year he was 4 of 6 on field goal attempts. His long was 34 yards. This one spotted at the 19. This will be a 29-yard attempt at the near side hash. Very little of any breeze. Snap a bit high. The kick is up, and it finds its way through the uprights and good. And the first points of the night and the season belong to Big Walnut on the 29-yard field goal by Owen Piles. So the Golden Eagles of Big Walnut on the board first. 3-0 over Hilliard Bradley Jaguars. Get the football when we come back on Friday Night Rivals. Big Walnut on the board first on the Owen Piles 29-yard field goal. And they grab the evening's first points on our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup. So good to have you with us here. Marty Bannister, Jeff Logan, Dave Holmes on the sidelines for us. Jason Van Hoos, the best stat guy in the business, providing the numbers for us. And we are so happy to have you with us here tonight. Hard to believe it's high school football season again. Man, it's
where'd it go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The calendar seems to spin by faster and faster. Big Walnut off a 12-2 season last year. Hilliard Bradley 6 up and 6 down and got into the second round of the playoffs. End over end kick. This will be fielded by Bradley, and this is Paulus trying to come to the near side. Sidesteps a couple of defenders and has some room, stumbles, recovers the football, then it pops out of his hands, and Big Walnut's recovered. He had it for a moment, and then it squirted free as he dove on it near the 30-yard line. And Big Walnut with the first break of the night on the turnover on the kick return by Paulus.
Wow, and it looked like he was ready to blow right through the gates right there and take it all the way to the house. Great job at getting it back up inside. And you can see there the stumble and the ball coming loose. Marty, the turf monster got him.
Absolutely. Watch his feet here at the bottom of your screen.
Just kind of stumbled.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, the first turnover of the season, we talked about the importance of taking care of the ball. You cannot afford to turn this ball over to this high-powered offense with a short field like this, and the Big Walnut team will start from the 30-yard line.
6:27 to go in this first quarter with a field goal advantage, and the football at the Bradley 30. Burley on the play fake, and here's Stump back to throw, looking for the near side and going into the end zone. Jackson Bowers, touchdown, Big Walnut. One play after the fumble recovery, and the Eagles make them pay for it. The 6'3", 202-pound senior tight end who caught 2 touchdown passes last year has his first touchdown reception of this season. Big Walnut on top 9-0.
Well, 2 receivers running straight routes there, and really Eli Stump had the opportunity to pick either one of them to be able to throw the football. Running the inside route was Gavin Harrington, number 17. You see him there, wide open too. And that time, Eli Stump wasn't going to miss the open receiver.
And that's that decision-making we were talking about a little bit earlier, understanding what's out there for his ability to find receivers. And Eli Stump with a good decision right there in the easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. Bowers will hold. And the extra point by Owen Piles is up, and it is good. So Big Walnut strikes quickly, recovering the fumble at the 30-yard line, and Eli Stump wastes no time putting the ball in the end zone on the touchdown pass to Jackson Bowers, and the Eagles have a 10-0 advantage.
Boy, ball security is something that every football coach obviously talks to his football team about, and it's really hard to get on a young man like that who is in the open field and just stumbled in trying to get himself, to gain control of things and lost the football. And be really interesting to see if they continue to kick the ball deep.
Our scoring summaries in tonight's game, and they are brought to you by our friends at Boilermakers Local 105. 8 plays, 48 yards, a field goal. Capped off the initial scoring drive for Big Walnut, the Owen Piles field goal. And then just a moment ago, of course, the one-play, 30-yard scoring. Fair to call it a drive? 30-yard touchdown pass?
That was pretty special.
Kirk Krager's team has jumped on top 10-0 here in quarter number 1. I really like the way he addressed the Jameer Brown thing by really not addressing it, by just simply saying, hey, we're playing with who we've got. We're happy with our football team. Now, not having a guy like that certainly takes away, you would think, your ability to take the top off of defense, Jeff, but nonetheless, still a pretty good football team.
No doubt about it.
Kick to the far side, and this will be fielded by Braylon Gordon, and he gets across the 15-yard line and navigates his way up to the 20, and that's where Hilliard Bradley will start the second possession with the football here in quarter number 1.
Boy, that ball, too, nearly came loose as Braylon Gordon was the return man there instead of Trey Paulus. There
is the second scoring summary, 1 play, 30 yards. Again, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 105.
Important series here for the Bradley Jaguars. They've had very little success offensively in that first drive and then turn the ball over on the second drive. They've got to get a sustained drive.
O'Neal will go back to throw near side, leaping grab by Trey Paulus. Caught 20 balls last year. Did a good job of leaving his feet, hauling in that high throw at the 25. Picks up 5 yards. 6'1" senior Trey Paulus has interest from Butler, Findlay, Mercyhurst, and UMass.
Really good job by that left tackle you were talking about, A.J. Boring, just the freshman, 6'5", 290, going up against T.J. Minor. So it's A.J. against T.J. T.J. a senior, 99. A.J. a freshman at 6'5", 290. Freshman football player. Pay attention to that matchup. It's going to be a key one tonight.
2nd and 5, the ball up to the 25, again out of the empty backfield. Here is O'Neal avoiding defenders, trying to dance his way near the to the first down marker rather, and is brought down a yard shy. Coming up for the defense. Good job there for Big Walnut as they got to that football in an absolute hurry. Watch O'Neal try to stretch ahead and pick up the first down and just get knocked down shy.
Yeah, really good job of stepping up into the pocket as his pressure was there. And Declan O'Neal, a very good athletic quarterback, will pull the ball down from time to time and run it. A critical third down pickup here, though, for the Jaguars.
Cole Swanger in on the stop, 5'10" junior, 25 tackles last season. 3rd down and 1 for Bradley. Down 10-0 here in the first quarter. O'Neal will keep the football himself and just able to muscle his way across the 30 and pick up the first down. That was a slow developing play, but Bo Drake was right there to greet the senior quarterback as he got into the hole. Our keys to the game for tonight's matchup between these two OCC cross-division rivals. They're brought to you by Toyota. Big Walnut, that Eli Stump talent at quarterback, that's a key for the Jaguars. Limit his ability to run and stay injury-free. I know it's a long football season, but that really hampered them last season. They lost Declan O'Neal at times. They lost some other guys to injuries, which really slowed their 2025. They still got to the postseason, but staying healthy, this could be a very dangerous Bradley football team. Here's O'Neal to throw. Dumps it to Rashad Truss, the running back. Wiggles out of a tackle attempt and falls ahead to the 34-yard line. 946 yards rushing last season for Truss.
Good protection. Gave Declan O'Neal plenty of time back there. And look at the blocking downfield. Getting a little help from Braylon Gordon.
Talk about decision making, and nice job by Declan O'Neal there by just dumping the ball to his safety valve receiver and Truss. Ball out to the 34-yard line as we near the 4-minute mark of quarter number 1. They'll flood the near side with wides. O'Neal looks that way, now will keep the football and slides across the 35-yard line out to the 37. O'Neal spent a lot of time in the offseason working with the quarterback guru, Brad Madler, in Northeast Ohio. Eli Stump also worked a lot with him as well, too. And that guy has been a guy who has molded a lot of quarterbacks. Ethan Brunkemeyer, Drew Aller come to mind right away.
He's the quarterback whisperer,
really
isn't he? Yeah.
Ball out to the 37-yard line. O'Neal, a 6', 180-pound senior. Injured late last season. Again, 3 wides to the bottom of your screen. O'Neal with some time in the pocket. Now will take off and run, and T.J. Minor grabs him from behind, just shy of the 40-yard line.
Did a nice job there of looking off one receiver, going back to another, but they saw coverage down there and just not able to get out of trouble quickly enough. And what looked like a sustained drive, it looks at least takes a little bit of the momentum away from Big Walnut at this stage. And you got to execute the punt here, and they did a really good job punting previously. They got to make sure that they get a good kick here and get the battle of field position, Marty, on their favor.
The tackle by Minor prevented the first down. They are a couple of yards shy. It's 4th down. And here's Xavier Love, who had a very good kick his first time. And on the roll this time, and the running kick. And a good kick here. This one will take a nice bounce at the 10, get inside the 10, and continue to wobble and wobble and wobble and be down at the 1-yard line. That looked like that play was destined for disaster, but it ends up as a great punt for Xavier Love, the kick and the roll, and the Bradley defense has pinned Big Walnut deep. The Eagles have the football when we come back on Friday Night Rivals. Thanks to our friends at Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center. Tonight's game is streaming live on the ABC6 YouTube channel, the ABC6 Facebook page, the ABC6 News app, and on the CWColumbus.com. Many, many ways to watch and listen to Jeff Logan.
All over the country. All over the world.
Worldwide. Worldwide. You are worldwide.
You think that internet thing will take off?
You should try it.
You think it's been around for a while?
You should try it sometime. Yeah, it works. It does work.
Broadcasting tonight's ball game.
Oh, man. Yeah, we talk about plays of the game so far. Punt. How do you pick a punt as a play of the game? My goodness. Looked like they were going to try and fake it. Or was it a rugby kick? It was really hard to tell. But the end result, this will have to be a 99-yard drive.
It's a 60-yard punt as it was, and it looked as if for a moment as Eli Stump just keeps the football and pushes ahead from his own 1-yard line and picks up a couple of yards. It had all kinds of different machinations to it. It ended up working for Bradley. Dave Holmes is on the sidelines for us. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, nightmare start here for Hilliard Bradley. It was interesting. Big Walnut's offense was just getting ready to look at film and formations, and all of a sudden the lineman turned around and said, shoot, we got the ball back. It was that quick. Like you said, Jeff, I don't think Mike Laparo waited all offseason to have a punt be his favorite play of the first quarter.
Second down and 7. And again, in the shadow of their own end zone, Burley with the football comes out near the first down marker. Needs to get out to the 11, his own 11-yard line. 6'4", 196-pound senior Nolan Burley. 6'2", 202-pound senior Nolan Burley, I should say. He and the 6'4" senior Eli Stump have been together for a number of years in that Big Walnut backfield.
3 new starters in that offensive line for Big Walnut. That's the left guard, center, and right guard. And how about the center, Cale Shelby at 6'1", 303.
Third down and 2 for Big Walnut with 70 seconds to go in the quarter. Harrington, the leaping grab. It's good enough for a first down at the 15-yard line for Big Walnut. Harrington, 6'3", 190-pound senior. 17 catches last year, matching his uniform number.
I'll tell you what, 9 out of 10 coaches in high school football would never allow this play to happen. But when you got Eli Stump back there, quarterback, and a trust right there with his receiver, how he placed that ball over the hands of the defensive end was perfect execution and a great deal of trust in his quarterback.
The 6'4", 220-pound senior end, Caleb Lowry, looked like he got a hand on that football, but it just cleared his big left hand. Here is Stump on the run with the football, 20, and is shoved out of bounds in front of his bench. Coming over for Bradley was Jackson Briner, a 6'3", 170-pound sophomore who came up to make the tackle on that run by Eli Stump. Parents, before your teens head out tonight, Buckeye Community School reminds you to know before you go. Ask where they're going, who they'll be with, who's driving, and when they'll be home. Simple questions help families stay connected and teens stay safe. Know before you go. Presented by Buckeye Community School. Jackson Briner, the 6'3" sophomore, in their scrimmage with DeSales, picked off R.J. Day in that scrimmage. In fact, they got him a couple of times. Michael Parro said, here's a pass over the middle, and it's caught by the tight end, Brody Schuster, and he gets out across the 35 to the 36, picks up 11, and another Big Walnut first down as we roll under 30 seconds left in quarter number 1.
They love this play action. When you've got that great running attack with Nolan Burley back there, you really have to pay attention and understand that with play action, you got to make sure that he's not carrying the football first, Marty. 4 out of 5 passing tonight so far for Eli Stump for 57 yards and, of course, the touchdown.
Clock winding down, and Big Walnut will just let the first quarter clock run to 0. We are through 12 minutes of play. Kirk Krager's Big Walnut Golden Eagles take advantage of a Bradley fumble. Cash it in for points. The only touchdown of the night so far. Through 12 minutes of play in our season opener on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Big Walnut has a 10-0 lead over Hilliard Bradley. Quarter number 2 coming up. High school football is back, and we're happy to have it for you on Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
Big Walnut Athletics.
Week number 1 of the high school football season. No better way to get caught up on what is happening with your favorite high school team than joining us afterwards for FNR Scores on Fox 28 right after our game tonight. It is sponsored by our friends at Jets Pizza. FNR Scores on Fox 28 after our game tonight. 10-0 is our score here. Welcome back to Sudbury in the northern half of the Columbus, Franklin County, Delaware County area. Big Walnut leading Hilliard Bradley 10-0. Team switch sides. Big Walnut now moving from your right to left. As you watch this one, here's Nolan Burley running to the right and getting out near the 45-yard line. The huge Golden Eagle athletic insignia. Middle of the field here at Big Walnut. Wonderful facilities here for this Big Walnut program. As you watch Nolan Burley start the second quarter with a nice run.
Yeah, pretty effortless when he runs the football. Very solid, very focused on what he's trying to do. This is a young man, again, going to Northwestern to play college football at the next level, but it won't be on this side of the football. He'll be a linebacker when he gets to Northwestern.
Where he might be better. He only had 10 tackles last season on limited time at defense, and Burley will take the touch pass from Stump and get into Bradley territory out to the 40-yard line and is knocked down as he got across the 40. Hustling over for Bradley was Braden Kuhler, the cornerback, to take his legs out from underneath Burley. But it's a first down gain for Big Walnut. They rumbled into Bradley territory.
Yeah, they put Burley out on the wing that time and used him as a kind of a receiver look, but came across the formation, able to take the ball. And remember, guys, this drive started at the 1-yard line after a 60-yard punt.
21-yard gain. Here's Burley again. Oh, what a move as he sidesteps the defender to the 25, to the 20, and almost wiggles out of an attempt. What a move at about the 30-yard line where he just left a Bradley defender lost right there, and a heck of a move by Burley.
Gasping for air.
Oh, my goodness.
Jackson Briner, a sophomore, came up to try and make the play. Watch this. Steps in there and goes, whoops, gone. Got nothing. There may be some laundry looking like a jockstrap down there. Yeah, he is just toast on this move. Really good job by Burley. And a lesson to be learned for the young sophomore.
False start. Number 1 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And that is our referee, Kurt Schooley, one of the best in the business, handling things tonight. And the first penalty flag of the night moves the football back to the 23-yard line. Kurt Schooley's the referee, Jake Smith the umpire, John Clay the line judge, Nate Filkins the linesman, Chad Litton is our center judge, and Trevor Lotz the back judge in tonight's season opener. First and 15 now for Big Walnut. Minute and a half into the second quarter, and the Eagles up 10-0. Here is Stump back to throw, and to the near side, and a catch. And then stepping out of bounds is Fenn Stump. The 6'2", 164-pound senior. They are cousins. And as Kurt Krager told me earlier in the week, well, Eli better throw the ball to him. He's a family member.
Absolutely. Wouldn't want to have to worry about how things go at Thanksgiving. So really a good job of getting rid of the football and putting it on target there.
Play picked up 8 to the 15-yard line for a 2nd and 7 as Big Walnut moves into the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. Now our second penalty flag and motion on the defensive side of the ball. Eli Stump was already pointing that way.
Looked like Nate Cam, number 68.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Number 68 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Nose tackle.
A lot of motion going on up front with both teams, and you got to be very, very careful. High school football, if you break that plane, whether there's contact or not, it is automatically a penalty.
They have some good size across that front. New to the Jaguars, Nate Cam, the nose guard, 6 foot 295-pound junior. Danny Pope at the tackle, 6 foot 220. And at the other end, Caleb Lowry, 6'4", 220-pound senior. Stumpf back to throw, has some time, surveying, flushed out of the pocket, being chased, rolls into the end zone, and the pass is caught. Gavin Harrington, a sliding grab in the end zone, touchdown, Big Walnut, and the Eagles increase their advantage to 16-0.
Yeah, the original option not available to the quarterback. Eli Stumpf went through his progressions. Watch him set his feet here. Did a really nice job of delivering that ball as he's forced out of the pocket. Gets out here, sets that back leg. Fundamentally, Marty, the importance of setting that leg and throwing that football, that's the only way you're going to get that much zip on it.
And they will try for 2 out of the open formation to dump the ball into the end zone, and the pass is caught with a 2-point conversion. Catching the pass in the end zone, going down to his knees. The completion for Big Walnut, and the Eagles, Gage Eckelbarger with the reception. Mainly on defense is where we see Eckelbarger, but he steps up on offense tonight.
They're set up in this kind of goofy format here on the extra point try, and everybody thinking they'll just shift back into it maybe and go into it, but Eli Stumpf stayed on the field, so they had to honor that, and really good execution there. And obviously, Kurt Krager had it up his sleeve that we were going to make this happen.
18-0 is the score. Gage Eckelbarger with the reception on the 2-point conversion, and as we say hello again to Dave Holmes, Gage, it's a special night for Gage Eckelbarger and the Big Walnut Athletic family, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it really is. He's wearing number 11 tonight, and if you're from Sunbury, you know the significance of number 11. That was the old number worn by Mitchell Young, who died tragically on July 25th of 2016 in a car accident. No one in Sunbury at Big Walnut has worn that number in any sport since, but tonight Eckelbarger is wearing 11 as a tribute. He got the approval of the Young family, a family friend. He's out there tonight making him proud with that 2-point conversion.
And you see shirts, and they've been using it on the PA here, Fly High MY, in honor of Mitchell Young. And what a great moment for our Gage Eckelbarger and the entire Big Walnut athletic community.
Yeah, I guarantee you that play was designed for that purpose, is to give them an opportunity to make happen what just happened.
Very short kick that will bounce. This is a free football, and it is scooped up at the last moment by Bradley, as racing up and getting it out of bounds for the Jaguars was Trey Paul. That was dangerous because that was a free football right there. And Trey Paul is able to save the possession. 18-0 though. Big Walnut with the advantage. We are 2 minutes into the second quarter. Watch Paul all of a sudden hustle up and get to that football.
Boy, that really was good hustle because that ball was free.
Drew Harris almost scooped it up for Big Walnut. The scoring summary, the drive, and that was a lengthy drive after the ball was punted to the 1-yard line. 12 plays, 99 yards, capped off by the touchdown pass to Harrington. That scoring summary sponsored by Boilermakers Local 105. So Bradley in desperate need of something good to happen offensively, and they start with a guy who can make good things happen, and that's Rashad Truss. And he makes his way out to the 35-yard line, picks up 7 yards.
Rashad Truss, a 5'10", 175-pound junior running back, trying to mix things up a little bit. See who might have the hot hand running the football tonight.
The offensive line is coming together very nicely, Mike LaFaro said. Garrett Clark, Trace Hawkins, Graham Walker, Javon Ford, and the freshman A.J. Broering.
The big T.J. Miner, number 99, was able to grab the tail of the tailback as he was trying to get across the line of scrimmage to get the first down, and just a little short. And there's Rashad Truss's numbers. Big part of this offense, nearly 1,000 yards rushing. Now put that on top of the fact that you've had some other really good football players getting the football on that side. But man, he is a terrific running back.
Our first down for Bradley here in the second quarter, sponsored by Classic Exteriors. High snap that O'Neal throws down. The pass is batted away as racing in and leaping airborne. Big Walnut had great pressure that time as coming in and knocking that ball out of the air for the defense that time. Good job coming up.
Ethan Helton.
Yeah, Ethan Helton was a great play right there.
He's a linebacker and came in there and made that play. Not one of the original, necessarily starters that are out there, but they do rotate a lot of guys in. and really a nice play by Ethan.
2nd down and 10 on the incompletion. They lost a lot of talent defensively last year. Eli Helton, his brother, had 97 tackles last year. There's a flare to the far side, and making the catch and trying to wiggle free is Angelo Craig, a 6'2", 175-pound senior. With his first catch of the night, gets out to the 43-yard line, picks up 5 yards. Will Clausen had 78 tackles. Brady Taylor had 77 tackles and 10 interceptions last year for Big Walnut. So they've had to replace some very talented athletes on that defensive side of the football.
If you're a fan of watching O-line, D-line stuff, and it's kind of intriguing, keep your eye on 99. We've talked about him, TJ Miner. I'm going to tell you what, it's an unfair fight over there right now. Nobody wants to go up against 99. They keep rotating left tackles in there, and nobody wants a part of 99.
They'll put 3 wide receivers to the near side and O'Neal to throw, and that pass is almost intercepted. He was trying to get it to Trey Polish right in front of the bench. And the incompletion brings up 4th down, and once again, Bradley will have to punt the football away. There you see TJ Miner walking off the field. A.J. Broering, the freshman left tackle, has already had to go up against another very good defensive end in a scrimmage, Jordan Carhoff at DeSales, and now in the season opener, well, he gets TJ Miner. So, talk about learning, getting your feet held to the fire right away. My goodness.
Welcome to varsity football in a big way.
Here's Xavier Love on to kick the football away. He's been the big weapon tonight. And a good kick there. That will be fielded at the 21-yard line under the fair catch. And that's where Big Walnut will put their offense back onto the field as Brady Simon hauls in the punt. It's been all Golden Eagles here in quarter number 2. Kurt Krager's team has an 18-0 lead over the Jaguars of Bradley.
Timeout on the field.
Highlights from and more from across the country at Friday Night Rivals on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and Friday Night Rivals on X.
It's been all Big Walnut so far over the visitors from Hilliard Bradley. We're in quarter number 2 of our season opener. Toyota Friday Night Rivals, Eli Stump, and the Big Walnut Golden Eagles on top 18-0 over the Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley. Big Walnut with the football here in quarter number 2. Good look at the Michigan State Spartan, future Michigan State Spartan, Eli Stump. They'll put Harrington in motion. Now sending back to the near side. And the handoff goes to Burley out across the 25 and dives out near the 30-yard line.
Finds his way out near the 28.
Coming up at halftime, they are back. You asked for them, you got them. Your favorite furry mascot friends will compete in the one and only Mascot Challenge. It's sponsored by Safe Light Auto Glass, and that comes your way at the intermission. Good look at Nolan Burley wearing number 3. His dad, Matt Burley, his senior year at Mount Vernon, ran for 2,221 yards and was a finalist for Ohio's Mr. Football honor. And here is Nolan making his way out across the 35-yard line and picking up a first down sponsored by Classic Exteriors. But Matt Burley went on to play baseball at Ohio State. He spent 5 years in the Reds organization. Nolan said earlier, I hear Dad and I ran very similarly, both with a lot of power and elusiveness. So,
yeah, one was in color and one was in black and white.
It was 1994. We weren't exactly riding Conestoga wagons at that point.
I understand. I'm sure Dad's proud.
Absolutely. 5 minutes gone here in quarter number 2. Stump the throw, near side, and the pass is caught by Burley trying to shake free and will be slung out of bounds for a loss. Good penetration and good attack mode by that defense of Bradley. Braden Kuehler, the 6', 170-pound senior, would not let Burley wiggle free to the near side. Now to bring up a second down and long call.
Yeah, watch Micah Fisher come up here and make the first hit. He's the one that blows up the play, and then the rest of the team is able to come in there and finish things off. But Micah Fisher already, a game you're down in, losing this thing 18-0. Micah Fisher has really been a star on defense.
Second down and long, 2nd and 13 upcoming for Big Walnut. Good look at the 5'11", 195-pound junior who only had 105 tackles in his sophomore season last year. Near side, the pass might have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. It falls incomplete. Attempt was in the vicinity of Jackson Bowers, who caught the touchdown pass a little bit earlier.
Big Caleb Lowry is the guy that got his mitts up there.
He almost had one earlier on the one pass when Stump was throwing almost from the goal line.
He's a 6'4" guy. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, 42.
Yeah, enough to deflect it and knock off the trajectory. So it makes it a 3rd down and 13 call. Eli Stump, a 3-year starter at the quarterback spot. Drops back to throw a little middle screen, and this is Burley. This is a dangerous play for Bradley as Burley breaks free. 40, 35, 30, cuts back inside to the 25, and is finally brought down from behind inside the Bradley 25. It's a first down as he rumbles to the 22-yard line. First down for Big Walnut. Nicely designed play by the Golden Eagles that time, and Stump's doing a great job of just floating back and waiting for Burley to pop free.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if this is one of those plays that he changed at the line of scrimmage, noticing the blitz was coming, and they're going to go fast.
Quickly go back inside on the handoff.
Boy, I could hear the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars go, holy crap. All of a sudden, you're coming with that full blitz, and the other team has got it diagnosed, dumping that ball off with a little bit of a screen. That's the best thing that can happen to the offense. Worst thing that can happen to the defensive football team.
The play clock to 40 seconds.
We have a Bradley player shaken up and a timeout on the field. Burley rumbled for 52 yards on that little pitch and catch right there, and it was well designed as he picked up the first down. So play halted while the Bradley player is helped up and off the field. Second quarter action here at Big Walnut. From the field to the classroom, great stories are happening every day. Stay tuned at halftime. Dave Holmes will tell you, and our friends will tell you as well, about the Ohio Education Association's Spotlight on Education. That comes your way at the intermission. Walnut has once again moved the ball into the red zone, the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone, oh, by the way. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service.
Bradley Neverman, number 30, in there at the running back spot. 5'7", 139, a senior. What a difference between he and Burley. But this kid is pretty good.
Lined up next to the quarterback, and they'll toss to Bowers, who's rolling and wants to throw. Lofts it into the end zone for Harrington, who was bumped as the ball got there. Penalty flag comes flying in. Did Harrington catch that? He did. Or did he not?
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Okay, looked like he had it for a second. But a penalty flag comes in. There's going to be an interference call in the end zone.
Little dipsy-do out of the offensive football team in the red zone. Little quickie reverse handoff and a receiver pass. And it looked like if he'd gotten the ball out a little quicker, he had his receiver wide open, but it's going to be interference in the end zone.
Pass interference against the defense, number 25. Half the distance to the goal, but the play results in a first down.
Carson Zach back on coverage for Bradley in the end zone. But Levi Von Allman leading the way. Bowers fired into the end zone, and boy, look for a second. Harrington almost held on to that football, but the contact from Zach forced the incompletion. So half the distance, ball moved to the 9-yard line. And Big Walnut already up 18-0, has a chance to really make things difficult in the first half for Hilliard Bradley. Another classic exteriors first down. This is Burley. Bumps off a tackle attempt, reverses to the 5, and scoots in for the score. Nolan Burley. Easily from 9 yards in after he bounced off the initial contact, just spun to the near side and strolls in from 9 for the score. And and Big Walnut increases their lead to 24-0.
You know, Burley's going to get a lot of credit for this, as he should. Look at him taking care of the football. That's just poor tackling, though. You got to do a better job of coming up and making the play defensively, especially when you know you've got a running back of that quality. And you can see here they had a bunch of white jerseys there, but everybody's throwing a shoulder, and nobody is grabbing the guy in the backfield. You got to do a better job. Burley's good, but you helped him there.
Owen Piles on to try the extra point. A first half that has belonged to Big Walnut. Snap a bit low. The hold is down. The kick by Piles is up, and the kick is good. First half domination for Big Walnut continues. At the 5:09 mark of quarter number 2, the Eagles flying high right now, up 25-0. It's Toyota Friday Night Rivals. $25-0 Big Walnut as Nolan Burley in the last 2+ seasons. That was touchdown number 60. Yeah, 60.
6-0.
Piles approaches the football. And Bradley trying to get something going offensively and hoping a good return can spark this offense as Braylon Gordon able to get out across the 30-yard line on the kick return. And Declan O'Neill will lead this Bradley offense back onto the field, trying to get something generated right now. Talking earlier in the week with Bradley head coach Mike Leparo, Jeff referenced this in the open when we were talking about tonight's game. The weather has been something that has hampered everybody's preparation. There you see the scoring drive, 8 plays, 79 yards, capped off by the Burley touchdown run. And again, our look at the scoring drive brought to you by Boilermakers Local 105. But teams have had to adjust a lot of things because of the weather. Usually it's the heat this time of year, which is a problem. This time it's been the rain. So teams have had to be inside more than they've been outside, and that's affected preparation for a lot of high school football teams. And a lot of high school fall sports teams as well, too. Absolutely.
Give a lot of credit to Kurt Krager and his staff for getting this football team as prepared as they are, given those conditions that you just talked about, because they've been everything but vanilla tonight. They have brought a lot of stuff to the table in terms of special teams, little reverses here, throw the ball there. I mean, this is very diversified in their approach, and they've done it nearly penalty-free.
Rashad Truss picked up a couple of yards out to the 35. It's a 2nd and 8. O'Neill on the sprint. TJ Minor chasing. O'Neill wisely reverses field to run away from Big 99, who recovers and throws him down. Oh, my goodness. Look at the hustle on the big man right there. Helped out as well, too. Great pressure by Bo Drake. But TJ Minor just blew that play up. As O'Neill started to roll, saw him break free, came back the other way, but TJ Minor was not going to be denied and got to him, helped out by Drake.
Well, and he was double-teamed at the point of attack. Watch the top of your screen right here. There were 2 guys out there. He does not give up on the play, and here he delivers the blow along with Bo Drake. I'm telling you guys, it's not a fair fight right now.
Played all 7 back to the 28. 3rd and 15 now. And Bradley again behind the sticks as O'Neill races back to throw. They'll set up a little screen to the near side now. And this is Truss. 35-yard line, spins across the 40. Look at the effort to the 45-yard line and picks up a Hilliard Bradley much-needed first down as he gets out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. A pickup of 19 and a first down sponsored by Classic Exterior.
You know, spot on, Marty Bannister. That was a big needed first down to try and take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of Big Walnut. See the finishing tackle there by Jackson Dews, who came up from the free safety spot, but that creates a first down at midfield.
So Bradley finally with a little breathing room offensively now. Trying to sustain a drive here as this first half winds towards the 2-minute mark. Truss on the handoff, middle of the field, and is brought down. Gage Huckelbarger was there to wrap him up. One of the first Golden Eagles to get there. 5'11", 195-pound junior.
6 yards on the pickup there on a first down play. That's the success that you have to have. And we've got 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Nothing more important for the Bradley Jaguars than to get something positive here before they go in at halftime.
Truss went from 147 to the other 47 and the first down, pickup of a half dozen. O'Neal hands off Truss, trying to sweep to the outside now. Can't get to the edge as that play again. Great penetration that time, slowed Rashad Truss down. He was a split second away from getting to the edge, but racing in. Eckelbarger was over there once again, also helping out for Big Walnut. Coming up on the defensive side of the football was Braden Neverman in. We talked about it at that running back spot. The 5'7", 139-pound senior really helped to slow this play down. He got up and chased it back down, too.
Yeah, look at how much he has to run from side to side instead of getting upfield. That's a great job by the Big Walnut defense of stretching the play to the sidelines. One of your best allies out there is Sammy Sideline. You need to force that guy all the way to the line.
45-yard line, shy of the first down by a couple of yards. Truss has it as he wiggles out of a tackle attempt and dives to the 40 and picks up another first down. Brought to you by Classic Exteriors for the Bradley offense. Good job by Truss of basically just leaping through a tackle attempt.
Timeout. Bradley. Their first of the first half.
At the 1:15 mark. A first half that has been dominated by Big Walnut, but Bradley finally with some momentum here as half number one starts to wind down. Coming up in just a couple of moments, we will go down to Dave Holmes for the music go-around Coach's Corner to hear from Kurt Krager. His team will have the lead as they head to the intermission. His thoughts on the first half. And again, that comes your way in 1 minute and 15 seconds on our Coach's Corner, courtesy of Music Go-Around. Big Walnut will have the football to start the second half, so I think that makes this drive even bigger for Bradley, Jeff Logan, to get something on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, 2 timeouts remaining, minute 15 to go. You got to pay attention to getting the ball on the outside of the hash marks if you're going to be throwing the football.
Ball's at the Big Walnut 41-yard line. O'Neal on the handoff. And coming to the near side is Braylon Gordon. They'd like to utilize him in a lot of different ways on offense. He's been a quarterback. He's been a wide out. And that time they just tried to get the ball into his hands and let one of their better athletes find some space to the near side, but the Big Walnut defense was ready for it. Good pursuit over there. Cole Heisel, strong side linebacker.
Need to play offensively with a little more giddy up. Clock running down to 42 seconds.
Play loss 3 back to the 44, their own 44-yard line. O'Neal to throw. Heaves it long over the far side, and the pass is incomplete. Looking for Miles Mason, the 6', 190-pound junior.
Pass intended for Miles Mason.
And the incompletion will stop the clock with 33 seconds left.
Good coverage down the field. Mason Moore, number 10 down there.
Don't forget, coming up at the half, it's the Bath Fitter Halftime Show. You'll be introduced to this week's D.R. Horton's Scholar Athletes of the Week, plus scores from around Central Ohio. It's all coming up on the Bath Fitter Halftime Show. 6', 180-pound senior Declan O'Neal will play his college football in Wittenberg for B.J. Code, the new head coach for the Wittenberg Tigers. And T.J. Miner, a major factor in this first half. What a play right there as he just blew that up and slings O'Neal to the field turf for a big loss back to the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line.
Let's watch again as T.J. Miner just has his way with these guys. Right side or left side of your screen, and you can see there, a man amongst boys. Just being able to flow through on tonight for number 99, 5 tackles, 2 quarterback sacks.
And he ran right by the freshman, A.J. Broering, who, as we talked about earlier, that size is going to be something that will, I think, keep a lot of folks interested in his progression. But it was a rough indoctrination.
This is the end of the first half.
The high school football. T.J. Miner firing up the fans here after that big play, with Big Walnut dominating in half number 1. They lead by the score of 25-0 here as the teams make their way to the locker room at Big Walnut High School here in Sunbury. It is a perfect night for high school football and almost a perfect first half for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, again, who have the lead 25-0. Eli Stump with touchdown passes, Nolan Burley a touchdown run in the first half, and the defense dominant. Dave Holmes is with Kurt Krager.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get on opening night. I would think even a pessimistic head coach would feel good about 25-0. What'd you see?
We didn't tackle well. We're out of shape, but don't get me wrong, I'm happy we're up, but we're not tackling. They got so many good athletes. Coach Lepar and his staff do a great job, but we look, like I said, we're not tackling. We're out of shape. We just look tired. So we got to, they're going to come back out, I'm sure, with a lot of energy. So we got to do a couple of adjustments at halftime. So
awesome. Best of luck in the second half, Coach. Even up 25-0, guys. Head coaches, that's what the game is. They always see something else that could be fixed.
Dave, I was thinking the same thing, pal. I've never heard a more coach speak answer than that one right there. That was
what a sour bowl of Cheerios, right?
25-0. Big Walnut has the advantage. The teams have made their way to the locker rooms here at Sunbury. It's been a dominant first half with the Eagles over the Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley. It's week number 1. The orb will be handed out afterwards on Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
Welcome back here to Big Walnut, where the Golden Eagles have a dominant 25-0 lead at the half. Thanks for joining us here on the Bath Fitter Halftime Show. I'm Dave Holmes. Each week, the CW Columbus is so proud to recognize the D.R. Horton Scholar Athletes of the Week. Tonight, we recognize Sophia Lopez from Hilliard Bradley and Sophie Hamilton from Big Walnut.
D.R. Horton is proud to recognize the Scholar Athletes of the Week. Sophia Lopez is a 3-sport athlete, has a 3.55 GPA, and 2026 state champion in softball, earning all OCC honors across 3 sports. She plans to pursue physical therapy in college. Sophie Hamilton carries a 4.1 GPA and is captain of the varsity volleyball team. She was named first team all-conference and all-district. She is committed to the University of Findlay to play volleyball. Congratulations to these outstanding Scholar Athletes.
Congratulations to the D.R. Horton Scholar Athletes of the Week. Now, if you're like me, you may have wondered your entire life what would happen. Who would win in a fight between a Golden Eagle and a Jaguar? Thank goodness we have the answer tonight. It is now time for this week's Safe Light Mascot Challenge.
Welcome, everyone, to the Safe Light Mascot Challenge, right here on the CW Columbus. All right, then, let's meet the contestants. Jaguar, Bear, Cardinal, Dog, and Good Day Columbus's own Muggsy. This week's challenge, the Big Race. Ho, 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 ho. The combatants are loosening up. They're at the starting line. And they're off. Bear seems to be a bit in hibernation. Cardinal's using some dirty bird tricks. The fans are on their feet. Jaguar seems a bit sluggish. What's going on? Oh boy, it's still anyone's race. Dog looking to make a late push. And you can never count out this feisty orange mug. It's going to be a photo finish. The fans are looking on in anticipation of a winner. It's Dog! It's Dog by a toenail! Congratulations, Dog, on winning the big race. Tune in next week for another exciting Safe Light Mascot Challenge on the CW Columbus. No mascots were harmed in the making of this video.
Impressive stuff there from Dog. Now, each week, the Ohio Education Association shows us how education can build stronger communities, and it highlights those who make a difference.
Ohio's public school educators are dedicated professionals, united by one purpose, helping every student learn, grow, and succeed. Every day, we show up and provide students with the knowledge, skills, and support they need to thrive in the classroom and life. Because today's public school students are tomorrow's entrepreneurs, educators, healthcare workers, and engineers. We're not just supporting our students learning today, we're growing the next generation of leaders, artists, inventors, and more. But we can't do it alone. Our schools work best when parents and educators work together as partners to meet students' needs. Collaboration between caregivers and teachers is key to children's academic success. We're on the same team, and we're your students' biggest cheerleaders on the football field and in our classrooms and beyond. Stand with Ohio's public school educators and support the great public schools our students deserve. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
The Hilliard Bradley Marching Band has taken the field behind me. The Bath Fitter halftime show will continue after this. Big Walnut with a dominant 25-0 lead at the half. We'll be right back.
Again.
It is week number 1 of the high school football season. We are at intermission, and Big Walnut rolling 25-0 in half number 1 over the Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley. So many big matchups around the area tonight. And don't forget to go to FNR Scores afterwards on Fox 28 to get an update on everything that's going on in this opening week of high school football. So many great matchups in week number 1. Let's check some scores from around the area. Canal, Winchester, and Grove City, they're tied at 14 all as they play in quarter number 2. Greg Waite's Grove City Greyhounds, they live up to that Greyhound nickname. They do everything fast. They get off the bus fast. They get on the bus fast. They come out of the locker room fast. And right now taking on a pretty good Canal Winchester team under head coach Rob Page. 14 all as they play in the second quarter of that interesting season opening matchup. Elsewhere throughout the area, Dublin Kaufman traveling to Hartley tonight to the east side of Columbus to take on the Hawks. And Nick McVeigh's team has a field goal advantage at the break. Lancaster and Hilliard Darby 9-0. Lancaster with the lead. The Golden Gales with the advantage at the break in that game over Brad Birchfield's Panthers of Darby. Marysville and Westerville North 10-0 as former Ohio State standout Stan Jackson's team has a 10-0 halftime advantage over the Monarchs of Marysville. A lot of eyes were going to be on this game tonight, and so far Gahanna Lincoln dominating Pickerington Central at 21-3. There are a lot of people in Central Ohio who think this Gahanna Lincoln team could make a deep run into November in the Division I playoffs, and they are off to a good start. Upper Arlington shutting out Olentangy at the break, 19-0. The quarterback battle was the big storyline at Upper Arlington, whether it would have been Rain St. Clair or Charlie Hunt to get the start, but they're blanking a very good Olentangy team again, 19-0 at the half. We'll see the Golden Bears a little bit later this season on Friday Night Rivals. And how about this one in the second half? Good to see the Kilbourne program bouncing back. They've struggled for a number of years. We saw them last year in the Hard Road Trophy game, and they are dominating Watkins Memorial in the second quarter. 42-0 is the score in that one. 25-0 is the score. Big Walnut leads Hilliard Bradley. Lots of first half highlights. Let's check how things are going around the nation.
Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Raw, nice cut move and a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what did he just do?
He will roll right, under pressure, still on his feet, trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. The receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen!
Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. In one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
Pressure, throws it downfield to the middle of the field. What a catch, coming up and grabbing the ball.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea it was one-handed that he grabbed that thing and hauled it in.
Another rush, they're going to throw the screen and it's intercepted. How about the big fella, Akeem Davis? Davis staying on his feet. Look at him go. Davis.
It's like a scrum.
They can't bring him down. Akeem Davis is still moving. At the 30, at the 25, he's stuck out of there. Are you kidding me, Akeem Davis? He is in for the touchdown.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is. It's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers.
I'd like to see that Hakeem Davis run again. My goodness, that young man just carried people with him into the end zone. Those are some of the national highlights from our Friday Night Rivals game from around the country here. Big Walnut on top of Bradley. 25-0 here at the intermission. Toyota Friday Night Rivals. 25-0 is the lead for Big Walnut. We welcome you back to the intermission on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. We are so glad to have you with us. A first half dominated by the home team tonight. Big Walnut, a lot of expectations on this Eagles team as this season got underway. A lot of folks think they can make a deep run, and Jeff, they didn't disappoint in the first half.
No doubt about it. I think coming into this game, we knew that Big Walnut was a superior football team. But the way they've dominated on defense has been one of those, maybe a surprise to me, but there's a real problem right now with the Jaguars being able to move the football.
Let's check some of the highlights of the first half, and we'll see how Big Walnut took the lead in this game, and a lot of it did with their defense. T.J. Miner, look at that.
Yeah, T.J. Miner is, again, I said during the first half, this is unfair. Have him over there. You can't block him. And once again, you see the great defense that time by Micah Fisher.
Good job of getting to the football for Micah Fisher and this Bradley defense, trying to keep them in the game. Jeff talks about turnovers and ball security, and that cost Bradley in the first half.
Yeah, and it's really an unfortunate situation where the turf monster comes up and, the young man fumbles the football, and quickly you get down 10-0 in this game.
And a team like Big Walnut, which has so many weapons, will make you pay for those mistakes.
Yeah, and Eli Stump is so good. He missed a wide-open guy earlier in the game for a touchdown pass, but he was spot on with that throw.
And again, Big Walnut working to the red zone, and Stump using his feet to create and firing for the touchdown.
Again, good recognition, good fundamentals there. Was able to make that play.
A good throw to Gavin Harrington.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Here's a 2-point conversion in the first half of play of game number 1, and they're able to make it go.
Nolan Burley, we knew what he could do from last season, and we're seeing what he can do this season early on as he spins for the score. His 60th touchdown in the last 2+ seasons. And again, there's our guy, T.J. Miner. What a play.
And Kirk Krager said on his walk-off with Dave Holmes that we're not tackling and we're out of shape. I saw some great tackling there. Here's your halftime stats. You can see rushing the ball, total domination by the Eagles, and throwing the ball, total yards 241 to 43, and that one turnover where the turf monster came up and caused the ball to come loose, but almost penalty-free.
And I think that turnover, Jeff, really kind of set the tone in the first half. Bradley was trying to get something generated. The return looked like it was going to be something good for them, and then they coughed the football up, and before they could turn around twice, they're down 10-0.
You go back and look at that tape. If he does not stumble right there and is able to continue with that speed that he has, I think he takes it to the house. So what a difference one play can make.
10-0 at that point. It's now 25-0 in favor of Big Walnut as we get ready for the second half here on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. It's week number 1 of the season, and Big Walnut trying to get back to the state championship round of football in the state of Ohio. Off to a good start tonight with the dominant first half, leading Hilliard Bradley 25-0. Big Walnut 25, Hilliard Bradley nothing as we near the start of half number 2 on our lid lifter Friday Night Rivals coverage here on the CW Columbus. Dean Marini's our producer, our great crew doing a fantastic job bringing you all the sights and sounds of this one tonight, along with Jeff Logan and Dave Holmes. I'm Marty Bannister, and Big Walnut dominating in the first half. Don't miss the Farmers National Bank play of the game. That comes up in the fourth quarter of this evening's matchup. Farmers National Bank, they are your lifetime bank. And don't forget as well, too, that we like to feature the marching bands and their performances at the intermission. The Bradley High School Marching Band, well, they put on a heck of a show earlier tonight. We look at their performance. It's sponsored by Music Go Round. Check out their locations at 2630 Bethel Road and inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. That is in Gahanna, the Hilliard Bradley Marching Band. Big Walnut will have the football to start the second half in this matchup this evening. This is the fourth all-time matchup between these two programs. The last time they met was back in 2011, and Big Walnut won by the scoregami final of 11-10. They met in 2010. Big Walnut won that one 26-10. And the first time the two programs saw one another was 2009, with Big Walnut winning 34-6. They will play next year to open the 2027 season. That game will be over at Bradley. Big Walnut, by the way, you look at the type of games they have played, they like to play these type of openers. Mike Leparo trying to get his team back into this game. Let's find out what he had to say to Dave Holmes.
Yeah, I know the early fumble took the wind out of your sails, but overall, what do you have to do in the second half to get a little momentum going your way?
Well, I said to the kids right there, is just do one possession at a time. We have to get a stop here, and then we have to score to get back in this game.
All right, best of luck in the second half, Coach. Guys, 25-0 uphill battle, but like you said, just one play, something positive, and try to get headed back his way.
All right, Dave, thank you. And Mike Leparo, one of those guys that, he tells you how he feels. And I think he understands where his team is at right now and understands that his team is still a very good football team, regardless of how this pans out tonight. But obviously, he's looking for a better performance in half number 1.
You know, and both of these coaches leading up to this game said that their respective teams were green, all right? The thing with Leparo that he's most concerned about, we're not only green, meaning we don't have a lot of experience over there, but we're also not very deep in terms of being able to make things happen. And I think that's a little bit obvious in the offensive line, where they have been trying everything they can to try and control the pressure that they're getting, especially from TJ Miner from that defensive end position. He has been disruptive, to say the very least, in the first half of play.
I was talking to Coach Leparo the other night about getting his team ready, and he focused on TJ Miner right away, saying, hey, that big number 99, he's going to be a problem, and he has been a problem in the first half.
Yeah, there was a double team effort right there, and he's able to split it and go through. And again, this kid is just a junior at 6'3", 305. What an upside potential he has. Hopefully he finds his way down 315 to the Ohio State University. I think this kid can play at that level. Good job that time again. Never
Big
gave up on the play.
Receive at the south end zone.
And again, Marty, they have tried everything they possibly can, double and triple teams, and it just hasn't worked out.
When I was visiting with Coach Leparo, he has 3 English Labs dogs, and they were running wild while we were talking. One of them was chasing a toad, and he had to calm the dogs down before he could continue his conversation. He said, it's funny, you're trying to get your football team ready, you're dealing with rain, you're dealing with weather, and now you got 3 dogs running wild that you're trying to contain.
Well, a Labrador chasing a toad is a little bit like TJ Miner rushing the quarterback. Guess who's going to win?
One of the dogs' name, ironically enough, is Major, and what we saw in the first half out of TJ Miner just kind of goes hand in hand there, and we'll see if the Jaguars can turn the tide a little bit here going into half number 2 of this matchup here tonight. Both these programs, the high schools, have had a great year in 25-26, the school year, as far as titles are concerned. For Big Walnut, their baseball team got to the regional final, losing to eventual Division I champion New Albany. Their boys track and field team, they were the co-champs in Division II. We talked about Jameer Brown. He came over here long enough to help them win a state championship and win some titles of his own. The Bradley program, as you see the Big Walnut squad getting ready to come back onto the field. One more thing about Big Walnut, by the way. They have Ohio's reigning Miss Basketball here, Sydney Mobley, a 6'3" junior who has committed to play, Jeff, at the Ohio State University.
Wonderful.
Averaged 20 points and 9 rebounds a game. She'll play for Kevin McGuff at Ohio State. This shows you the type of year they had. Bradley, how about this? Their softball team won the Division I state title, scoring a couple of runs in the top half of the 7th to beat Lancaster 7-5. Their boys basketball team got to the state championship game before they were hammered by Cincinnati Princeton 59-28. So both these schools have had great athletic years in the 25-26 calendar year. And both their football teams trying to repeat and hopefully add on to that success here in 26.
Saw Kirk Krager there on the sidelines for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, and in 4 years of coaching here as the head football coach, he's 27-10. Last 2 years, 25-4, and what a run! The last 2 years, going right to the state semifinals and losing to Cincinnati Anderson. But what a terrific job he's done, and we were talking a little bit about his career. He spent 20 years as an assistant coach under Mark Crabtree at Dublin Kaufman. And what a great mentor a guy like Mark Crabtree is, who now has re-engaged himself back into coaching. We saw last year when we had Dublin Jerome. And, once it gets in your blood, it's tough to get it out.
That Crabtree has some lengthy branches. Mark Solis is back in the head coaching business now, as he has taken over at New Albany. They have a tough one tonight playing over at London. Second half kick is fielded by Big Walnut, and coming out with the football is Brady Simon, and he's got some room out to the 35 to the 40 and runs right into the kicker. The ball pops free, and it might belong to Hilliard Bradley. Boy, a major league collision right there, just shy of the 45-yard line. And the ball does belong to Bradley, so a break right away for Mike Leparo's football team.
Wow, what a play to start the game. Angelo Craig, number 2, Brady Simon, takes that ball. I am no longer going to be critical of kickers. Look at this job here. Kicker, boom!
There you go, little shoulder action right to the chest. The ball popped free, and the kicker recovered the ball as well, too.
Was that the kicker?
That was the kicker, Xavier Love, number 28. How about that?
Unbelievable.
So a big break for Hilliard Bradley, and they'll have the football at the Big Walnut 43-yard line.
Got a little bit of an equipment problem over here. The kicking tee is still on the field. They'll get rid of it. Hey, boy, was David Holmes spot on about having to make a play here as quickly as they can in this game? And what do the Jaguars do? They get it.
And courtesy of the kicker. And here is Truss to the 40. Tries to spin out a tackle attempt and is grabbed by Cole Heisel and thrown down as he just stepped across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. So a team looking for some kind of momentum gets it courtesy of the place kicker with the tackle and then the fumble recovery.
So we've seen 2 turnovers in this game, both of them on kick return. Boy, just a lot of red jerseys coming up there to make the plays.
Second down and 6 after the 4-yard gain by Truss. O'Neal, high snap, handoff Truss, and sweeps to the far side and gets to the 35-yard line, picks up 4 yards. The running yards were very precious in that first half, and precious and few for Hilliard Bradley, as they just tried to get something generated against this Big Walnut defense. Truss entering the game, their leading rusher last year at 946 and 5 touchdowns. One of the things that Coach Leparo said he likes about this young man, and Jeff used this term talking about Nolan Burley in the first half, he has good hips and good vision with the football.
And his yards after contact have been very impressive, for a kid that's not really that big at 175 pounds.
O'Neal to throw, and the pass is incomplete on a crossing route. As good coverage there by Big Walnut, trying to get the ball into the hands of Braylon Gordon. And that play was well defended, as hanging on to Gordon was Jackson Dews, the corner.
Good play action, quick slant over the middle. Got to give credit to the defense there. Right on time, able to make the play. Number 25, Jackson Dews.
Jeff, it's 4th down and 2, and Mike Laparo down 25-0, keeps his offense on the field. Truss off to the left.
Changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
3 wides are flanked to the near side. 4th down and 2. Truss the handoff, and he breaks for the first down, gets across the 30, and makes his way down to the 27-yard line, picks up 8 yards, and a big first down to keep the drive alive. The first down, the first of the second half, sponsored by our friends at Door Depot.
Yeah, they noticed the Big Walnut linebackers were dropped back, they were looking for that quick pass over the middle, and they took advantage of that, went with the play-action draw, and quarterback did a nice job of getting it communicated in time, and a nice pickup, and keeps the drive alive.
Gain of 8 for Rashad Truss, 5'10", 170-pound junior. O'Neal, little shovel toss to a motion man that time. That's Noah McCreary with the reception, and steps just across the 25-yard line to the 23, gain of 4. McCreary's a 5'8", 170-pound junior.
Coach Laparo mixing it up a little bit with a little bit of junk, coming with the shovel pass. That may be the most easily completed pass that quarterbacks have all night.
Well, that was one of the things that Mike Laparo changed in the offseason. Went with the new offensive coordinator, more spread-type offense. He really wanted to do that. He wasn't real happy with being a run-first team. Here is Truss trying to get to the outside and gets inside the 20-yard line down to the 17-yard line, a pickup of a half dozen. And that is good enough for is it close enough? It's going to be just shy of the first down.
Boy, a play that looked like it was only...
Oh, no, he got it. He got it. Okay, he stepped across. So, but yeah, he wanted to be more spread-oriented, open things up a little bit more, and that first down has moved Bradley for the first time tonight into the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. So Bradley on the move, trying to capitalize on a momentum play. The recovery, the fumble to start the second half. O'Neal fakes, keeps, and inside the 15-yard line down to the 13.
Now that's designed as a quarterback keep all the way. A little eye candy there with the play action, but that time they wanted Declan O'Neal to keep catch the football. You're talking about he's off to Wittenberg, and one of the questions because from a skill standpoint, this kid is really, really good. But at 6 foot, 180 pounds, if he's 6'3", maybe he's a Division I kind of kid, and that's just the fact of the way the game is.
Exactly. Tell you what, though, I know B.J. Code at Wittenberg is very happy that he's not 6'3", that he's coming to Wittenberg. Handoff Truss outside to the 5-yard line, spins free, dives towards the pylon, and just got close, did not get in. Got down to the 1, picks up a dozen. It's a 1st and goal upcoming for Hilliard Bradley.
Boy, that thing called momentum. What a change in this football game. You get blown out 25-0 in the first half, and you come out here, you get a play that goes in your favor, and all of a sudden you get those juices flowing again. And right now, the Jaguars are not going to be stopped. They've got it 1st and goal inside the 1.
Trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Backs on either side of the senior quarterback.
High snap.
Keeps the football himself and gets into the end zone. Declan O'Neal. Little confusion right at the snap. There was a collision in the backfield with Braylon Gordon, but O'Neal bounced off the contact of his own player and scoots in for the score, and Bradley's on the board for the first time tonight.
This isn't going to be on anybody's highlight film, I promise you. But it did work. A broken play in the backfield. They were trying to go with a high snap. I think they were trying to hand the ball off to Braylon Gordon, but quarterback Declan O'Neal able to use that experience of his to make something good out of nothing.
A 1-yard scoring run, and the guy who started it all, Xavier Love, tries to end this drive with an extra point, and the kick is up, and it is good, and Hilliard Bradley on the board, trailing 25-7, but there is a penalty flag down. We'll see what this is all about before we move any further, but an impressive drive by Bradley.
Extra point is good. Personal foul, roughing the kicker. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff.
So more momentum for Bradley when they get set to kick the football off. Down 25-7. Big Walnut has the ball when we come back on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Thanks to Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center, tonight's game is streaming live on the ABC6 YouTube channel, as well as the ABC6 Facebook page, the ABC6 News app, and on the CWColumbus.com. Many, many ways to listen to the words of wisdom to my longtime friend, well, at least I think so, Jeff Logan. 9 plays, 43 yards, the scoring summary after the fumble recovery by Xavier Love. And this scoring summary brought to you by our friends at Boilermakers Local 105.
All right, so the question of the night, I want all of our listeners out there to think about this a little bit, and I'm going to pose it to Marty. Who's more nervous before the start of the first game of the season? Players, coaches, or parents?
I would say yes. Everyone
who
goes
is
out
the
of
most nervous?
Probably coaches, wouldn't you think? I mean, especially when you haven't been able to get outside enough, to prepare your football team.
I'm
see
sure
these things.
Different levels of nervousness on each. What I noticed tonight, coming into the game, was about 30 moms sitting in the stadium at about 5:15. 30 moms. Mm-hmm. Now, they may have been band moms or football moms, but it made me think about parents. There's your quarterback stats for the first half. Didn't get a chance on that first drive because of the fumble on the kick return, but 9 out of 11 for 147 and 2.
Very efficient. Nolan Burley, the go-to guy carrying the ball, but Eli Stump is a weapon as well for this Big Walnut football team. And it is Burley to start the second half and is knocked down as he got across the 25-yard line, shy of the 30-yard line. There's Burley, 10 carries, 86 yards in half, number 1. In 2024, he ran for 2,153 yards. You think, wow, that's great. How does he top that off? Well, last year he runs for 2,226 yards, 30 touchdowns. The long was 81 last year. And yet, there are those who will tell you he's going to be a better linebacker than he is a running back. Here's Stump firing a dart. What a leaping grab by Fen Stump. Gets across the 40 and is brought down a first down for Big Walnut. The first down sponsored by Door Depot. What a throw, what a catch. Stump to Stump, first down.
Looked like Spider-Man out there going up. Fen Stump, a 6'2 receiver. Cousin, 6'4 quarterback. They were on target that time, and what a terrific job coming down with the football.
23 yards on the first down completion. We were talking about Eli Stump working in the offseason with Brad Maidler, the quarterback whisperer, if you will. Kurt Krager said that, again, that command of the huddle was so big, and his ability to extend plays is where he has really gotten better. Burley spins off a tackle attempt and steps into Bradley territory. And with Eli Stump coming over there to help him out, gets to the Bradley 45-yard line and another first down for Big Walnut.
Well, you really want to see better tackling out of your defense, but let's not take anything away from Nolan Burley, who's doing a good job with that stiff arm. Look at that. I mean, just a really good job, solidly. We may have to have a conversation with the Northwestern coaches. Play him both ways, but don't take the ball out of his hand. This kid's talented.
Last year in their big rivalry game with their neighbors from Hayes at Delaware High School, all he did was score 5 touchdowns and run for 250 yards in that game. And here he is submarine right around the line of scrimmage and knocked down. Great penetration that time as Caleb Lowry, the 6'4", 220-pound senior defensive end, got there first.
Yeah, he was on a crash play, 42, just crashing into the middle, and Caleb Lowry was able to come up with the play.
Next week, Friday Night Rivals is headed to Westerville, the ruler of the Ville game. It's the Warhawks of Westerville Central battling the Wildcats of Westerville South. Pre-game report kicks off at 5 o'clock. The kick next week is at 6. So join us on the Nest Digital Channel 6-2 for the game at a special time again, 6 o'clock next Friday night. Games involving Westerville schools all start at 6 o'clock. Here is Eli Stump with the football, 40-yard line, 35, near side 30, and is escorted out of bounds over there. A couple of Bradley defenders over there to make sure he went no further. Jackson Briner over there as well, helped out by Hudson Kelly, safety, 6 foot, 155-pound junior.
Boy, Jackson Bowers does a really nice job leading this play and blocking downfield. Watch number 6 down there, continuing to stay engaged with that linebacker. Gave his quarterback Stump the opportunity, and pretty good answer so far to the response of the Jaguars coming out hot in the second half.
Jeff, both these teams had very good scrimmages and played some high-caliber opponents. Play more after this play as we near the halfway mark of quarter number 3. Stump goes back to throw. Has all kinds of time. Will launch this one towards the end zone, and the pass is knocked away, almost intercepted as he was trying to get the ball to fend Stump. And good coverage back there by Hudson Kelly, who got back defensively for Hilliard Bradley. Bradley scrimmaged Gahanna and DeSales. That's not bad. When you're talking about finding out about your football team as we watch the Stumps try to combine on a score there, but good job by the oncoming Hudson Kelly. Big Walnut scrimmaged Olentangy Liberty and then took on Medina Highland.
That's a good one.
That's two very good scrimmages, and both coaches said the same thing. We found out an awful lot about our football team in those games, or scrimmages rather. Second down and 10. Stump quickly, far side. This is Eli Stump to fend Stump, and he gets lifted up and planted to the far side. Good tackle over there by Braden Kuehler, the 6 foot, 170-pound senior. Mike Laparo said one of the great things about their scrimmage with DeSales, and they have faced DeSales a couple of times in scrimmages over the last couple of years, said they did a very good job of defending R.J. Day, who is also headed to Northwestern, son of Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. But they did a very good job of defending him. In fact, picked him off a number of times in the scrimmage last week.
Solid tackle out there on the perimeter.
Third down and 6. Empty backfield for the quarterback Stump, who has some time in the pocket now. It breaks down and he's on the run. Middle of the field, 20, 15, and slides down shy of the 10-yard line at the 12. And again, there's that decision-making and that heads-up play by the quarterback.
It's a good decision at that stage. You know you've got the first down. You got it down inside the red zone. You trust your football team. He does a really good job. And again, this is one of the things that Mike Laparo feared the most, was not just the throwing game, but the ability of this quarterback to be able to tuck it and run. And that time he's able to get the first down.
The slide to the first down puts Big Walnut into Valley Forge of Columbus red zone. Valley Forge of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. Burley, handoff, and to the 10-yard line, and just will not let people put him on the turf as he has stood up. The whistles come in to stop the play.
That was inside the 10.
And the ball moved down to the 9-yard line as Burley picks up 4 yards. Big Walnut, members of the OCC Capital Division. They are in Division II, Region 7. To get out of that division, they're probably going to have to play Watterson at some point, or maybe even DeSales at some point. Down the line, I know we're talking about something into November, but nonetheless, that's a power-packed division, region rather, of Division II. Stump, rolling, lost towards the end zone, and trying to get the ball into the hands of Jackson Bowers. And let him a little too much in that northeast corner of the end zone, and the pass falls incomplete, and that will bring up a third down for the Big Walnut offense.
Yeah, still a good throw by Eli Stump to make sure that ball gets all the way to the back corner of the end zone where only his guy could get it. I thought the play 3 or 4 plays earlier where it was thrown to his cousin, and it looked like he had some space down there. That ball was late, leaving the quarterback's hands. He's got to get that ball out a little bit quicker in that situation. That time I thought he was spot on.
Ball's at the Bradley 9. Stump again rolling. Sprints to the far side, still rolling with the football. A little ball fake, trying to avoid one defender, then gets shoved out of bounds. Good job by Bradley of keeping an eye on the lanky 6'4" senior quarterback and not letting him get to the edge that time. They had good pressure on him. He still made a decent gain out of that, but was finally chased down. Micah Fisher over there to make sure he didn't go any closer to the goal line.
Now watch where he goes out of bounds here. He's going to be about the length of the football shy of the first down. And this is the quarterback's looking at the first down marker right here. He knows exactly where it is. Let's see where the ball is when he goes across. Did a nice job of trying to reach that ball out. Fourth down, they're going to go.
Joel Preston also over there on defense for Bradley.
You don't think Burley's going to carry this, do you?
Stump, hands off, it's Burley. And he is just burrowing his way towards the goal line and did not get in, but it was fourth down. And he did get the first down, even though he did not get into the end zone. And he got close, though.
A lot of credit to that offensive line doing a really good job of controlling things up front. They knew they had to get about a yard, and they ended up with about 3 on the play. And And Cale Shelby in there at the center position. Levon Van Almen at the right guard, and Avery Henson, the left guard. Those are the guys leading the charge right there, the Hogs up front.
One of those is Matt Green, the 6'3", 293-pound senior, returning starter. Burley handoff, and he saunters into the end zone for the score. Work to the right side of that offensive line and gets in easily for his second scoring romp of the night. And Nolan Burley's touchdown makes it 31-7, and a heck of an answer drive by the Big Walnut Golden Eagles.
Yeah, just an easy walk-in touchdown at that point
for an injured offensive player.
Yeah, it looked like there was a cramping situation there, the tail end of the play. It looked like a bunch of the players were actually trying to help out. And I think the guy that was cramping up
was TJ Miner, who was lined up on offense.
Now, guys, that is really unfair. You put him on offense now, too, as a blocker? Come on now.
They've used this formation a number of times tonight on their extra points, and they'll use it again here. They completed a 2-point conversion on this earlier in the game. And now they will run to the standard extra point formation.
Touchdown number 2 for Burley tonight. He's also got some receptions out of that backfield.
Extra point attempt by Owen Piles is good, and it's 32-7 now. Big Walnut on top. And again, the answer drive after a little momentum was seized by Bradley, but Big Walnut seizes it right back and improves the advantage to 32-7 on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Dave Holmes, Beanie Wells, Cardale Jones host The Script. It's a weekly podcast covering the Ohio State story. Big opinions, real talk from real Buckeyes. New podcasts, new episodes come your way each and every week. The Script, available now wherever you get your podcasts. And if you are an Ohio State football fan, which I know many of you are, you no doubt enjoy The Script. Dave Holmes does a great job. I think Dave, are you the ringleader of that group? The kind of the master of ceremonies?
Yeah, I'm the sheep herder, I would say, trying to keep Cardale and Beanie in line, especially Cardale Jones. You know, guys, it's funny. We were laughing at Kurt Krager's expense during my halftime interview. He was disgusted with a 25-0 lead. I'll say this. He wasn't putting on for the camera because after his defense gave up the touchdown, he went over and lit them up, challenged them to tackle better. He's disgusted by the tackling. His defense now has a chance to respond to their head coach.
Good return out on the kick out across the 35-yard line. Trey Paulus with the return, and Bradley sets up with good field position here. Our scoring summary brought to you by Boilermakers Local 105. 13 plays, 80 yards, capped off by the Burley touchdown. And as Jeff Logan was talking about, the answer to seize the momentum right back after Bradley looked to have a little bit of life on the fumble recovery. But Big Walnut says, all right, enough of that. Here's why we're here, and they score. O'Neal, far side, completion. As hauling that one in was Trey Paulus, 6'1", 175-pound senior. Caught 20 passes last year, did Trey Paulus.
That's that spread offense that Mike Laparo has engaged in this year, Marty, that you talked about. And I think the kids embrace that as well. I think they want to be part of fast and furious out there on the offensive side and not just be so one-handed running the football.
Mike Laparo, 2 wins away from 100 in his coaching career at Hilliard Bradley in his 17th year. Truss takes the handoff. Good running, 45-yard line to the midfield stripe, and he is knocked down. Bradley next week will have one of their big games on their schedule, their division rivalry, or their district rivalry game, rather, with their friends at Hilliard Bradley.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
Well, next week, Big Walnut will be right back here on their home turf, and they will be taking on Dublin Kaufman next Friday night.
Another cramping situation is a week 1 issue in high school football. I don't care how hot it is, but they're kind of wheeling him off out of the way. And I remember my invention I had from a couple years ago was that cart that you just roll out there and then get them the heck off the field. Go do all that stretching and stuff over there.
You have too much time on your hands. Get caught up with what is happening with your favorite high school team. Watch FNR Scores on Fox 28. It comes your way after the game tonight. Sponsored by Jets Pizza.
So I want to go down to Dave Holmes and ask him that question about who's the most nervous in week 1 of a football game. Are they the players, the coaches, or the parents, Dave?
I mean, I think it has to be the players, right? I mean, you only have so many shots at it out here on the field. You work out all season, all off season. If I'm a player the night before the game, I've got the butterflies for sure.
All right.
Second down for Bradley. Ball at the midfield stripe. O'Neal fakes, rolls, throws, and the catch made working upfield and downfield across the 40-yard line was Noah McCreary. He was targeted earlier, this time able to come away with the catch. And a good first down pickup for Hilliard Bradley to move the ball down to the Big Walnut 38-yard line. I think with this game being where it's at right now, Big Walnut with the advantage. But I would have to think Michael Parro, I think, probably likes what he's seeing out of his team here at quarter number 3.
Well, they hadn't quit on him. That's the most important thing. You get on the road like this in week number 1 with all this thought about how good we're going to be and it's 25-0, you begin to question everything. But not these kids. They've come out and they've really played hard.
Toss to Braylon Gordon. And Gordon, after the first down, at the 38-yard line, gets to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a second down. That first down again sponsored by Door Depot.
Now, the other thing that on this drive, number 99 was not in the football game. TJ Miner checks back in. So I'm sure he's feeling a little bit gassed. He was the one that had the cramps down there on the extra point try, or the touchdown.
O'Neal with some time, fires, and a good catch. A short gain at the 35-yard line, laying out for that ball. And making the diving catch was Joey Zukowski, a 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. Nice catch there by Zukowski. We were talking about the schedules and what's up for these teams. Later on this year, Big Walnut will step out of OCC play on September the 25th. They will travel down to Ironton and take on the Fighting Tigers of Ironton at Tank Stadium. Wow. And if you have never seen a game down there, I encourage you to do it. It is a fantastic atmosphere down there along the Ohio River. Back to throw is O'Neal. Steps up into the pocket. He's got a little bit of running room now, trying to evade some defenders. Good move at the 30 and dives to the 26-yard line where he is brought down. It is good enough for a first down for Hilliard Bradley.
I had a teammate of mine at Ohio State who was from Arnton. That's where they pronounce it, Arnton. Kenny Fritz. You remember that name?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we lost Kenny a couple years ago.
This is the end of the third quarter.
Died way too early, but you're right. That is a different atmosphere down there in Arnton.
32-7, Big Walnut with the lead as we head to quarter number 4, the season opener here on the CW Columbus Friday Night Rival. Tonight's highlights of the Big Walnut High School Marching Band performance, sponsored by Music Go Round. Check out their locations at 2630 Bethel Road and inside the Stone Ridge Plaza in Gahanna. The Big Walnut High School Marching Band entertaining the home fans tonight. (32-7). Big Walnut leads Hilliard Bradley as we go to the fourth quarter with Ohio State Hall of Fame running back Jeff Logan. Dave Holmes on the sidelines tonight. I'm Marty Bannister. We're glad you're with us. Dean Marini and our entire CW Columbus production crew doing a great job showing you everything about this one tonight that has been dominated by the home team, the Big Walnut Golden Eagles. As the first play from scrimmage in quarter number 4, Braylon Gordon with the short gain for the Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley.
It's kind of cool to walk in here tonight, wasn't it, to see some of the old staff that we've had together with this crew really do a heck of a job bringing really great high school football to Central Ohio at a very high level, and I guarantee you these kids enjoy it, and the parents do as well.
What was really impressive was the crew, when they saw us walk in, didn't leave. They stood around. I mean, I've expected them to leave.
They didn't say, oh, no.
Yeah, you guys are back? Oh, goodness. 2nd and 4. O'Neal steps up into the pocket, rolls, trying to get away from pressure now. Steps, fires into the end zone, and just overthrows the outreached arms of an open receiver in the back corner of the end zone. Miles Mason was running along the end line, and they just could not connect.
Well, Declan O'Neal had very little time from the very beginning. You can see the pressure he was under, throwing this ball back across his body. Very difficult to, number one, put it on target, and a lot of times that ball gets intercepted, but they live another down, and they're in 4-down territory, no question about it, trailing in this game 32-7.
3rd down and 4. The ball is right at the 20-yard line on the edge of the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. O'Neal quickly to throw, far side hash, steps up again, and TJ Miner had him for a moment. The ball pops free, and Big Walnut has it. The Eagles come away with the football. TJ Miner disrupted the play, and coming away with the loose football for Big Walnut, Sal Moyer, a 5'11", 204-pound junior, makes the fumble recovery, and the Golden Eagles get the football back.
Well, just that extra effort trying to get that first down, and that ball comes loose, and you can see once again the disruption of 99. TJ Miner coming in there, stripping the ball, and that's turnover number 2 for the Jaguars tonight. See it come loose here. Yep, he was trying to reach for that first down.
So again, a turnover halts the Bradley drive. Burley trying to sweep to the far side on the classic exterior's first down, and he's just punishing people as he dives out across the 35-yard line and picks up a first down for Big Walnut. The Golden Eagles coming off a 12-2 season. Kirk Krager's program really have been dominant the last couple of years. As Jeff mentioned earlier, he was a longtime assistant at Dublin Kaufman. He and his wife, Andrea, built a house.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
Another cramping situation, it looks like, over by the Bradley bench. He and his wife, Andrea, decided they wanted to live out in the country a little more. So they built a house in Sunbury. Well, the day they moved into the house, he was offered the Big Walnut head coaching job.
They weren't tied to one another.
Right, exactly.
Well,
so he said it just obviously one of those things that was meant to be, and I think the folks here in Sunbury are awfully happy that they built the house here and that he got the head coaching job. He was a starting strong safety at West Jefferson, outside linebacker in his playing days at Findlay and at Capital University. Comes from a pretty good high school program in West Jefferson. They play some pretty good football, do the Rough Riders. Next week, Friday Night Rivals is headed to Westerville. The Warhawks of Westerville Central will be in action. We'll tell you more about that game a little bit later on here as we move along in that battle for the Ville. But also don't forget that sports is simply more than a game. It's a business. And NIL has brought that business to high school. Rodney Dunnigan and ABC6 News examine how NIL affects student athletes and their families. NIL Kids now streaming on the ABC6 YouTube page. And Jeff, I can certainly speak for you on this one. I highly encourage folks to watch that.
Absolutely.
That
makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Understand what is out there, what's available, what is appropriate, and the best way to manage a situation where there's money available for these young men and women.
First down and 10 for Big Walnut. We'll put a man in motion to the near side and stump the throw Eli to Finn, and another completion there. It's the fourth time they've connected tonight. And Finn stumped with the catch. Eli Stumple, by the way, is a very talented basketball player as well, too. Plays for his dad, the head coach here at Big Walnut. And I asked Kurt Krager earlier in the week, do you like to have those multi-sport stars on your football team playing for you? He says, absolutely. There's just not enough of that these days.
Yeah.
Kids just don't have time to do that these days.
Well, and you take a school system, and it's growing like crazy up here in Sunbury for Big Walnut, where you've got so much growth, so many more people competing for those positions. It seems like there's less and less need for guys to become 2- and 3-sport athletes.
2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. This is Burley trying to get to the first down marker and is hemmed in, and good penetration that time. And good pursuit by that Bradley defense. One of the few times they've been able to slow down the standout tailback. And they preventing from picking up the first down. Caleb Lowry raced over there for Bradley. One of the first white-shirted Jaguars to get over there. Might have been a face mask over there as well, too. Watch Burley when he comes up after the play. He might have been telling everyone that he was grabbed by the face guard.
Clean there. He's got the jersey.
More the shoulder pad than anything else.
Might have felt like the face mask, but not even close.
Over the century mark, 130 yards on just 17 totes of the pigskin tonight. It's a 3rd down and 3 call. Stump will throw. Harrington makes the catch at the midfield stripe and then falls into Bradley territory to the 47-yard line, rather. And it is a first down for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles. Burley's going to get a chance to play in that glistening new stadium that opens this year in Evanston for the Northwestern Wildcats.
That's been pretty cool watching that thing to be developed. They've been playing basically at a sand volleyball stadium on Lake Michigan for a while.
Well, what a beautiful setting that was. If you ever watched the game, that was remarkable to watch the games that they played there. Seated about 15,000. I know the folks in Evanston are very happy to have Nolan Burley headed their way. And he's headed towards another first down as he dives across the 40 down to the 37-yard line to the 36, and it's good enough for another first down for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles as we are 3 minutes deep into quarter number 4 here at our season opener.
You know, the one thing we've not seen really is much depth at that running back for Big Walnut. You know, they would really like to play Nolan Burley on both sides of the football, but man, when you're getting as many carries as he has here, and I don't see how you can put him on defense.
Another classic exteriors first down for the Big Walnut offense. Sidearm sling throw to Harrington from Eli Stump, and he makes the catch and then steps out of bounds down to the 32-yard line.
Gavin Harrington was the #1 returning receiver on this football team from a year ago. 6'3", 190-pound senior. 4 touchdowns last year. Wonder if he's going to get opportunities to be able to play at the next level. Looks like a pretty good athlete.
I would agree with you. 6'3", 190-pound senior. I see a lot, as you know, Jeff, a lot of Mid-American Conference football. I think that's a young man that can play in the MAC.
Absolutely.
Very easily. 2 wides to the far side. Stump over center. Looking long for Harrington, now behind the defense, and he just cannot catch up to it.
It's twice tonight that Eli Stump's going to want to have one over again. Wide open. And a mismatch by height. Hudson Kelly down there at 6 foot trying to make the defensive play. And this ball just sails on quarterback Eli Stump. You can see the effort there. Wide open. Let one go.
8.5 to go in the game. And the ball spotted at the Bradley 32-yard line. These teams, again, will play each other next year to open up the 2027 season. You have to give Kurt Krager a lot of credit for not shying away from big games to open the season. We mentioned earlier they played Watterson each of the last 2 years. And Stump, his arm might have been hit as he threw the football, and it's picked off.
It is picked
Bradley comes away with it, making the interception, rather, going down to his knees after hauling in that deflected pass was Carson Zach. And another turnover gives the ball back to Bradley. Watch Stump, how his arm was affected on this throw right here.
Just gets hit right there.
Gage Woods, the outside linebacker / defensive end, able just to get that big right hand up and deflect the pass, and Zach down to his knees at the 22-yard line with the interception. And Bradley gets the football back.
It's 2 turnovers apiece tonight for both of the football teams.
So Declan O'Neal leads the offense back onto the field. Steps up into the pocket now, looking for some running room with the football out across the 25 to the 30, up to the 35, and shy of the 40, out to the 38-yard line, picks up 16 yards and a first down.
Well, it looked to me that TJ Miner had a great opportunity to take the quarterback down on that play and just kind of whiffed. That was one of the few misses tonight for 99.
I thought last year we saw Bradley in week number 10 last year against Kaufman to close out the regular season. And you and I have known Mike Leparo for a long, long time and have watched his teams play. I thought that was one of his better coaching jobs last year. When you lose your starting quarterback, the other injuries that they dealt with, and to still go 6-6. Here's O'Neal to throw in a good pass, a crossing route to Braylon Gordon, and he runs into Big Walnut territory, gets down to the 45 for a first down. To go to where they went last year in the playoffs. They went over to Troy and almost knocked off the Trojans. They lost 22-21 in the playoffs. And to do that with a team that really was just hanging on by a thread from a health standpoint, again, I think a pretty good coaching job by Michael.
No doubt. Speaking of thread, that was threading the needle that time by quarterback Declan O'Neal. You liked that, didn't you?
Nicely done.
Yeah. Just squeezed it in there on you.
You do listen to the broadcast. I often wondered about that. Back to throw O'Neal off his back foot. Right in the hands of a receiver, Trey Paulus.
Underthrown a bit. He had to kind of stop his route and came back, and the ball hit him in the wrong spot. His things at the end of the elbows.
That back foot throw and
catch the ball.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the hard part about that is coming over the middle, underthrown like that. You got to be thinking, where's that free safety going to be?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get those alligator arms where they just shorten up.
That was the strong side linebacker, Cole Heisel, who was in the general vicinity of Trey Paulus. 7:22 to go in the game. Second down and 10. And O'Neal again will go back to throw. It goes down in the backfield. TJ Miner was there, but the first Golden Eagle to get there was Cole Swanger, the weak side linebacker.
With great pressure that time coming from the right side of the quarterback. Really never had an opportunity as he was setting up, trying to get his feet set right here. Doesn't even see the pressure until it's too late. But a really good closing move by Cole Swanger. He's a junior. I think this kid's got a great opportunity to continue to grow in this football team.
Jeff had 25 tackles last year, including a couple of sacks. That moves the ball back to the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line for Bradley. They face a third down and 17. And again, Declan O'Neal is back to throw. Pass is tipped to the line of scrimmage, but still caught by Braylon Gordon. And he got right to the midfield stripe, so pick up of just a couple.
Fourth and long here. Punting situation, most likely 4th and 14.
This has been one of the stronger parts of their game tonight. Xavier Love and his ability to pin the Golden Eagles deep, including that 60-yard punt, which had them at their own 1-yard line.
Got a timeout by special teams coach over here at Big Walnut.
32-7. Big Walnut leads Hilliard Bradley halfway through quarter number 4
of the second half
in our season opener on Friday Night Rivals, presented by Toyota.
Highlights from tonight's game and more from across the country at Friday Night Rivals on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and Friday Night Rivals on X.
32-7 is our score. Big Walnut on top of the Bradley Jaguars here in our season opener. Xavier Love getting set to punt the football away. Again, Bradley next week will be hosting Darby. And Big Walnut will be home as well with Dublin Kaufman coming in for a matchup of OCC non-divisional foes. High snapped. Love pulls it down and gets off the kick. That will bounce and just get into the end zone.
That kid's got a live leg. He is a heck of a kicker.
Almost looked like one of Jeff Logan's approach shots right there.
Yeah, we started to see a little bit of cramping down there. You know, you expect that early on in the season. Hydration is the key. I'm worried about Dave Holmes, though. I mean, he's been down there in the heat of the battle. Dave, did you hydrate enough before tonight's game?
Why are you worried about Dave?
You know, someone has to worry about me, Marty. I appreciate that, Jeff. Yeah, I've had my 8 cups of water, whatever I'm supposed to drink.
I'm just excited, Dave, afterwards to see you present the orb.
I'm excited
We're
about
looking forward to that. We're really looking forward to that.
Have you put your hands on the orb yet?
No, are you kidding me? That'd be sacrilegious.
It would be. Don't rush over there.
No, I'm not. We'll wait for the people to earn the orb. They'll get to touch it first.
Here's Burley on the handoff, negotiating his way through a number of tackle attempts, and then falls up to the 28-yard line. We were talking earlier about Nolan Burley and the year that his dad had his senior year. Our crack statistician Jason Van Hoos was fortunate enough to be on the sidelines and watch Matt Burley do it in person. We were talking about it earlier. Jason was nodding his head. Yeah, he was pretty good, guys. He was pretty darn good. But we do need to mention that Whitehall did win that game, right?
Exactly. The number 1 unit still on the field for Big Walnut.
Well, and I wonder, too, Jeff, in that situation, as Burley gets the football and runs across the 35 up to the 40, dives across the 40, if you had limited reps during the preseason, again, because of some of the things that they dealt with, well, you just want to keep these guys on the field. And
they want to get more tape on this, be able to view this for meetings and what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong, and there it is, guys. First one in 2026, the penultimate orb, which is presented to the winner of Friday Night Rivals. And it looks like it's going to go to the Big Walnut Golden Eagles.
Under 5 to go here in this one.
No one's ever dropped the orb. It's been a presenter ever. Dave.
You're really putting the pressure on Dave now. I mean, wow.
He's a Stark County boy. He can handle it.
What are you doing? You know what's funny, Marty? Jeff and I went to rival high schools. We were literally next door neighbors, decades apart, I might add.
Yeah.
But it's that Hoover Viking in him that just always has a thing for Lake Blue Streaks.
Big rivalry? Big rivalry?
Well, it is now.
It is now.
It most certainly wasn't then. We didn't even know where Lake was.
Ball's at the 43-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Isn't the Blue Streak something you ride at Cedar Point? That can't be the name of a football team. Isn't it the Blue Streak?
Yes. I'm not a big roller coaster guy, so I can't help you with that.
That's a surprise.
Here we go. Neverman with the handoff and across the 45-yard line out towards the 47. Braden Neverman, 5'7", 139-pound senior. I think he is probably going to see a lot more carries this year. Certainly they did last year. He carried the ball just 8 times last season. Again, because Kirk Krager has said Nolan Burley's going to, as the season goes along, he's going to play more and more defense because obviously that's where he is slated to be playing for Northwestern when he gets there next year. But I would imagine, too, when you go down to Ironton, Nolan Burley's going to be carrying the football for you when you go into Tank Stadium.
Exactly.
Stump to throw and making the catch, diving across is Jackson Bowers, the 40 to the 38-yard line of Hilliard Bradley as we roll to the 3-minute mark. Bowers, 6'3", 202-pound senior. Caught 3 passes last year, his 3rd reception of the night tonight, one of them for a touchdown.
He's kind of he's listed as a slot guy. He can play fullback, he can play tight end, he can play wide receiver.
Eli Stump coming out of the game right now. And Bowers, who is listed as the backup quarterback on their depth chart. But Eli Stump came out of the game, and in at quarterback right now for Big Walnut is Caden Weaver, a 5'10", 172-pound junior. So Kurt Krager has pulled some of his starters here with the game no longer in doubt with 2:15 to go.
Get a close look.
Number 13, Caden Weaver is the quarterback.
Why don't you take a look at the shoe wear on our new starting quarterback? I think they're electric. They may have been charged on the sidelines. Look at this. Look at the shoes. Get a tight one. Look at this, guys. You're the backup quarterback. How good is that?
Hand off in the middle that time in a short gain. In at the running back spot right now is Kobe Jenkins, a 5'11 junior. How did I know you would see that?
Well, remarkable. Is it tap dancing? What are we doing?
It's all about style.
He's styling. You can see that all the way to Fairfield County. Oh my goodness! Look, I have
looking kicks. Good looking kicks on the young man right there.
Yeah, I have never seen football shoes like that.
70 seconds left. We need to find a footwear sponsor, I think, to keep Jeff happy. Hand off Jenkins, far side, and is knocked backwards. That was a third down call.
Under a minute to go. Celebration will start for Big Walnut. But guys, this is only week one. There is so much ahead of both of these football teams.
Looking forward to seeing that ruler of the Ville game next week in Westerville. The Warhawks and the Wildcats getting together at Westerville South. And again, that will be a 6 o'clock kick next Friday night. .35 seconds left as the clock continues to spin.
They'll take it down all the way and take a timeout there.
32-7. Big Walnut 32 seconds away.
Big Walnut
from a season opener
of the second half
on our Toyota Friday Night Rivals lid lifter. Big Walnut 32 seconds away from capturing their season opening matchup. Last year dropped their opener, then did not lose again until they got to the state semifinals. Oh, by the way, when they start Capital Division play a little bit later on in the season, they will start it with a 15-game division winning streak. They haven't lost a OCC Capital Division game since 2023. Again, which shows you some of the dominance that they have had. Neverman, the handoff, trying to sweep to the outside and is dropped shy of the first down marker. So the football will go back on downs to Hilliard Bradley with 27 seconds left in the game. Let's tell you about what we think was the play of the game tonight in this matchup. And while the game didn't feature big, explosive, over-the-top plays, Jeff, I think this touchdown by Nolan Burley could fall into the category of the play of the game simply because it allowed them to answer the momentum that Bradley had built after scoring the touchdown on the fumble recovery.
Yeah, you could build a case at 25-0 at halftime. It made it 25-7, and all of a sudden everything looked like it was in favor of Bradley, but man, that slammed the door shut.
And when you have a player, Mike Lepar referred to Nolan Burley as a hammer. Well, you want the hammer to do what the hammer did there, and that's pound his way into the end zone. And that answer drive right there took any wind out of the Bradley sails, and that will do it. That handoff right there with the clock rolling, 14 seconds left, and Big Walnut will grab its season opener. And now look ahead to next week when they welcome in Dublin Kaufman, Kurt Krager's team, with the victory as they knock off Hilliard Bradley in the season opener tonight by the final of 30.
This is the end of the game.
2-7. Big Walnut with the victory for Kurt Krager, his 28th win as the head coach here at Big Walnut. And it has to feel good to come out of that season opener with a victory.
No doubt about it. You know, just a year ago, you know, this was a different feeling when they lost to Watterson in that opening game and then went on a string. And our player of the game tonight, though, no question about it, really good football player. Watch the number 3 early in the football game, just making people bounce off of him. Ends the night, Marty, with 13 carries for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had 3 receptions from out of the set from the quarterback, and you know, just a guy that did what we expected him to be able to do.
Yards after contact, big as well too, Jeff.
Strong.
Watching him right there.
Yep, and there was the kind of the play that slammed the door shut on Bradley from having any chance of being able to get back into this ball game. So really good play for Nolan Burley.
Big Walnut the winner, 32-7 over the Jaguars of Hilliard Bradley in our season opener. Post game coming up next.
we could have your help tonight helping with the refuge around the stadium, we would sure appreciate it. You can't just take a minute and drop your trash in the trash can. Thank you so much.
As good as advertised in the opener, the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, their high-caliber players stepped up and made plays night long. Nolan Burley, Eli Stump, TJ Miner, all big parts in the Golden Eagles' 32-7 win to get our coverage of Toyota's Friday Night Rivals underway. Back with Jeff Logan. I'm Marty Bannister. Dave Holmes is somewhere down in the mix of players, and we'll go down for the presentation of the orb here coming up in just a couple of moments. The ground game dominant. Very good balance. Big Walnut offensively. 218 on the ground, 205 through the air, 423 total. I know the turnovers are something that Kurt Krager will probably point out right away. Only 2 penalties, though, as well. Too.
No.
You have to like that number.
And both teams having penalties on a kickoff return. How often does that happen in a football game? So, you got to get things fixed. I'm not going to sit here and say they were out of shape and they don't tackle well. This is a team that is really, really good, but there's coachable moments on both sides.
And I think for Mike Laparo and his Bradley Jaguars, some things to build on in half number 2.
No doubt about it. And, they can hang their head a little bit. Not pleased with the way things went tonight, but come Saturday morning, they got to get themselves ready for week number 2.
And they will take on their district rivals from Darby next week. Big Walnut, as we mentioned, next week, they get Dublin-Kaufman, which should be also a very entertaining football game next Friday night. And again, the victory goes to Big Walnut by the count of 32-7 in this season opener tonight. Dave Holmes is in the middle of the victorious Golden Eagles.
They are victorious and they are quiet, but they're about to explode because it's time now to present Kurt Krager with the Orb after tonight's opening victory, 32-7. Congratulations. Coach, that's a good team over there. They've won a playoff game 6 straight years. How were you able to get it done tonight?
Our kids, they did a good job. They fought hard. We got a long way to go. Like I said, you're exactly right. That's a very proud program, very great coaches and great athletes. But our kids, when it mattered, they executed. But we got a lot to work on.
Where is Nolan Burley right now? There he is. 13 carries, 162 yards, 2 scores. Northwestern might have to play on both sides of the ball.
I'm good with it. That's what I was talking about.
How's this feel to get one on opening night against a very good team?
It feels great just to all come together. We've been working a ton since last year, so it just feels great.
Guys, big game for him, and he grows a mustache that I can only dream of. They're a winner tonight. Big Walnut, 32-7. They get the win here on opening night.
All right, Dave, thank you. And did you hear after he answered that question, his teammates said, "Hey, good answer."
Yeah, they loved it.
They loved it.
Yeah, play both sides of the ball.
That's right, play both sides of the football. So a big night for Nolan Burley and a big night for Big Walnut as they take the victory again by the count of 32-7 in our season opener. Next week, we will be in Westerville for the Ruler of the Ville series game, as it's Westerville Central visiting Westerville South. We'll be back on the air next Friday night at 6 o'clock on the Nest Digital Channel 6.2, as well as all of our streaming platforms when Central heads to Westerville South for that matchup to get the second game of our season underway. Again, the final tonight, Big Walnut beats Hilliard Bradley 32-7 here tonight. For my broadcast partners, Jeff Logan and Dave Holmes. Dave, good to have you with us here this evening. Appreciate your efforts. Jason Van Hoos with stats, Dean Marini, and our entire crew. I'm Marty Bannister. Once again, the final score tonight here at Big Walnut. The Golden Eagles open the season with a 32-7 victory over Hilliard Bradley. So long, everybody, from Big Walnut High School.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Tonight's broadcast of Toyota Friday Night Rivals, presented by Jets Pizza, is sponsored by these businesses.